All right, welcome everyone to another exciting session of the Tales of Tellos, the Steam Mage. I am your humble dungeon master, DM Order, and I'm joined by these awesome individuals who are the heroes of the campaign, the Crimson Peacekeepers. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. We're excited to have you here. We're getting closer to the end of this arc, but it's been an exciting arc with regards to the Giant Wars for it. And like I said, if you're just joining in, it's you can very easily catch up with a simple premise: giants bad, attacking everyone, trying to wipe out mortal races. So heroes are fighting them. That's what's going on. If you want to know, kind of like a super elevator pitch sort of deal. But if you're curious actually about the intricate policy or politics, the wonderful lore, and all the different quests and adventures that our heroes have undergone, check out our YouTube channel. Castles and Calamities has all of our episodes uploaded there, and you can start watching all 88 episodes if you're so inclined. Otherwise, for all our returning viewers, welcome. We're happy to have you as we continue this journey with session 89. Let's talk about what happened last time as a recap very quickly with regards to things. So, our heroes defended the town of Beit Mia. As the giant wars had continued, this was about 1 week into the wars, and you all were asked to help the town of Beit Mia to defend it as it was a critical resource point, being a town in the middle of one of the governance for it. Its centrality was important and critical for trade, for sending of supplies and caches, as well as the refugees that were all swarming towards the cities, as cities have become very much more defensible with armies, mages, and other forces being able to help protect and push back against the giants. The group was successfully able to slay all the giants that were advancing on their side of the wall and had the help of one of their allies, and a librarian named Damien Wall, who was also a abjuration wizard for things. It has now been 1 month since the beginning of the Giant Wars. We are going from still in winter, from the month of rains to the month of cold, as the group continues to either take care of personal affairs as well as defend and help wherever they can in anticipation of the next upcoming battles to come. General Al Manzor Al Gamal, leader of the Western forces, has already notified you all that they will need your help for a joint operation between the West and the East to help take down one of the Cloud Giants' fortresses known as a Cloud Keep. You all are going to help bring the battles now, as it has been about 1 month since then of constant defense and trying to save as many lives as you can. Now the tide is turning. You guys are pushing back, and this is going to be a symbolic strike against the Cloud Giants and all of Giantkind. Already there's been 20% loss of all life in the Rhea, Aramer, Tamshir, and the Kesslans. No known casualties for any countries west of the World Mountains. That's an interesting point for it. But a third of the giant kind has also been wiped out during this last month. So let us now discuss and see what everyone's plans are leading up to this fateful attack. I'd like everyone to please roll me a d20. Let's see who we're going with first.
Alice, we're doing our job over here.
Right? Let's go. All right, let's start with 1. Okay. Wow. Okay. So Alice with a 4, Lance with a 9, Zanny with a 16, Chance with a 15, and Erlam with a 1. All right. So we're gonna go tonight's order: Zanny, Chance, Lance, Alice, and Erlam. Let's talk about what you guys have been doing individually or in a group. We'll focus first individually for at this moment what you guys have been doing in the 1 month leading up to it. We did cover a little bit of last time for it, so you don't have to go through all of what you're doing throughout the month. but just as a quick highlight, if there's anything else you want to change or update from what you mentioned before. So, Zanny, last time you mentioned you were going to be focusing on your crafting, and you also had a moment because of your industriousness and determination throughout the entire month of rains with things, a vestige awakening. Anything though you want to highlight or mention that you are doing throughout that month?
Yes. If I, in my haste, did my early math wrong, because those four syringes I was making, um, were all of uncommon as opposed to rare because the amped up version is rare. These are common. I had originally done my math for how many I can make based on them being a rare item,
Mhm.
and as such, I can actually make all four of those syringes I wanted to make in the first work week. Like I can just knock all
Okay,
of them out and still have a day left over because I can do one of those a day.
great.
Um,
Especially thanks to that's the vestige's abilities.
yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, that was the thing that I didn't take into account is that it cut everything in half on top of what I do. But uh, there was a foul up the day immediately after, uh, as I tried to once again remember how to recreate sterility potions and rolled in that one for the
Yeah.
first day of making them. So that didn't go well.
Wait, so okay. Before that, I'm gonna ask you to roll with disadvantage an intelligence check.
Okay. Disadvantage. Okay.
Okay. The DC was 10. You do not mistakenly give the bad batch that would have been a super fertility potion
Yeah, extra
for
fertility.
things. I don't know what Alice is saying because she's on mute, but that's fine. You catch your mistake, and the batch is ruined. It is also poisonous, so it would have also given a lot of bad time for it. But you put it away and
Yeah,
destroy
no,
it.
that all just goes right down the drain.
Yeah.
Well, safe
I-
disposal, but you know what I mean.
Yep.
if
Yep.
you had told Lance, he would have said we should keep it for science purposes.
For science purposes. Yeah.
If it
No.
wasn't poisonous,
That's what
if
I
it
did
wasn't
say. It is.
actively dangerous to actually consume, yeah. But no. Yeah, we'll toss that first batch, and luckily the second batch went better. But as far as the potion crafting, that's the long and short of that. If Gaith has any time free, I want to try to work with him some.
Okay. There. This is very. Would you have time, and how much time do you think you would have with Guy, with things?
Um, I would love to be a crafting girl for 4 straight weeks, but I do also need to train to be the oracle or an oracle. So I it's more of I'm trying to prioritize it the other way around of how much time does Guy have, and I'll work with the rest of the time because I know how many potions I can do per day. It's just how many days do I have left to make them after working with Guy.
Okay. Roll me a d12.
Because in my haste before, I was like, oh, I can just be potion master. And it's like, girl, I got other work to do. I got stuff I gotta be doing.
Reroll that. I'm not gonna give you one day. Four. You get
Okay.
4 days of extra training with Guy. Um, when we last, do you remember what we last talked about? Like where you were falling in with your precognition?
I have it notated somewhere. It is here. It is 6 hours.
That doesn't sound accurate.
No, that's the last I had of it, and then I didn't update it. No, I was able to go to a day back.
I think you were closer towards a week with difficulty.
Yeah,
But
well, a day with ease. Like I could just
yeah,
I could do that right. Like I could do that regularly. Is I could push it to a week, and anything farther back from that is do not try territory right now.
without alone, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, then I will say, after 4 days, you now and mark this on your character sheet. Um, you are now at 1 week. You can go back looking in the past for up to 1 week safely alone.
Okay.
Perfect. All right. With that being said, unless there's anything else, and we could definitely highlight anything else after the fact, but
No, I think the rest of
good.
it is just the morning routine of training with Alice if she's available, and then after that, it's I go to my lab and I'm working on different types of crafting.
All right. Perfect. Let's go to Chance. Chance, you had a lot you wanted to do, one of which was speaking with your father for things. You did do that in RP. There's also the Harmony Project, which you used, you posted in the Discords, a nice, really awesome flyer showing like how part of the Harmony Project is working to try to help refugees find each other or have like a central network system. Your from last week, you mentioned you wanted to do a lot, including talking with Quibble, Alice, Guy, and training. But is there anything else you want to highlight or change, just for the record, that you did? You've been focusing on throughout the first month of the Giant Wars.
No, I think my list was pretty comprehensive.
Okay, great.
I mean, like not that it needs to be like RP'd or anything, but you'd also probably, well, I guess kind of goes into like training, but not the training that I talked about, but training on some of her other stuff, but like
Okay,
astronomy
cool.
and
The astronomy. Roll a
right.
d20 for me, please. So a lot of the nights, unfortunately, because of the cloud giants being dicks, they are blocking a lot of the sun. They're causing a lot of thunderstorms. It's very hard to get a good astronomy night out in Zarek or Jedna.
That's fine.
Yep. So just that's the astronomy one, though. Everything else you can continue with the training for things. So awesome. All right, if nothing else, let's go to Lance. Lance, you start selling a lot of skellies, or starts acquiring a lot of corpses, and you said you were going to calculate how long it would take for your scarabs to actually consume the bodies. Did you finish that calculation, and do you have it?
Yeah, so we have the scarabs that we bought. I found my notes because for some reason I wrote it down. How long it would take to consume if we were quick feeding them. If we were using all of them, they should be able to, with the current numbers we have, be able to consume or to clean a body in 5 days.
Okay.
But the reproduction cycle for that type of beetle is 15 days.
Okay, so this is something you can start on if you wanted
Right.
to throughout that month. So you
Yeah,
would
so I
probably
could-
have 2 generations. I'll grant like 2 extra generations.
Okay, so I mean they're insects. They lay a lot of eggs, but
Yeah.
that's just for for simplicity. Let's just say they double each time. So
I would.
I would
go ahead.
just to make it easy because they're magic creatures.
Okay,
Does that work?
that works. I was gonna say triple, but I'll allow the double of each one.
Okay.
For it.
Yeah. Then at doubling, so
So if you have I said 2 generations already. How many
Right.
scarabs do you technically have right now? Do you remember?
I think that I started with 5. So if I have 2 generations, it would be
5, 10,
10 and 20. Yeah.
Yep. So you have
So
20.
that would be I could do 4 bodies in 5 days.
Yep. So I will say you currently have, because this is also a work in progress, and you did probably would have used Posicrotic Seer on some of them if you would like for
Right.
it, if because you're not battling every day for it.
Yeah.
So roll me a d12. Let's see how many on top of that you're able to do.
8.
8. So you have a total 8 that you Posicrotic Seer, plus 4 bodies. You have the scarabs eat. You have 12 extra skellies out of the 18 for it.
Perfect. Yeah,
And
so
you can-
that's what he's. Yeah, so he's got the 12 skeletons, and he's leaving them basic for now.
Yeah.
And they're just fodder filler.
Yep. And to note that your animated spell, Animate Dead, let me just look really quickly, because you can mass cast it for it, but when you do, there's a certain limit. I believe it's 4, but let me just confirm really quickly.
The base spell is 4, yeah.
Yeah. So you have 12 new ones. 12 divided by 4 is 3 spell castings, plus your original team, 2, 4, 6, 7 with Billy. So that's 2 more. So that's 5 castings. So just be aware, if you want your full amount of skellies plus the ghouls, you need to be basically casting 6 times the Animate Dead spell, which you can
Right.
regain on a short rest, some of them, but just be aware you're
And we know what day we're leaving, right?
correct.
So the night before, right before he went to bed, he would burn his high level spell slots to cast them, which gives them for a day, which at least will get the process started.
Yep. Perfect.
And if he needs to bring them back up, he can always dance macabre the skeletons or whatever.
Yep.
The remainders, if he needs them.
Which is awesome. And you are now starting to realize like the not necessarily upkeep cost, but the upkeep spell usage. It's great, especially for fodder, like how it used against the Giantkin. And you basically have a mini army for things. So we will see about if later on you want to start equipping all of them with like +1 or +2 short bows, how that will work for things.
Yeah, that's a later project.
Yep. Anything else you are focusing in on? Because I know that was the big one, and I believe you were going to be doing, not last week, we're going to do it this week, conversation with your family, correct?
Yeah, he wants to do a family meeting. Also, during that time, we brought the guy into the fortress, right? Our little guy that we sponsored, him and his kid.
Oh, the cobbler, yes.
Yeah, cobbler. So he's gonna see if he can get him a job, like he mentioned in his recap, making boots for the high-ranking officials.
Perfect. Roll a persuasion check with advantage. You get a couple, so 2 commissions. We'll see if that starts to spread, but it's not like a big government contract at this moment.
Yeah, he's just trying to get the guy's foot in the door, literally.
Ah.
Or their feet in his door.
Yeah. All right.
And then the only other thing he would have done is if he does get back to Tomash after the family meeting, he does want to check and see if Katya is dead. Because we left her behind.
You did. Roll a D100 for me, please.
It's not
She's
great.
alive.
And she's mad.
She is mad, but she's on the run again with her Chadwick. And Mahmoud is upset.
He'll get over it.
You literally made a promise.
I understand, but I also couldn't risk taking somebody who's to the Harbingers into the hut. Or the fortress.
I get it, but that's what's happened. Katya has... The cutoff was 33. 33 below, she would have been dead. But 33 to 66, 34 through 66, she ran off. 67 to 100, she was basically stayed put in the mansion. So, Katya has run off with Chadwick.
It is what it is. We'll find her again. I tell him that we'll find her again. We'll track her down. It's not the end of the world.
Yep.
Yet.
All right, let's go to Alice. Alice, in your last week, you mentioned that your character would be focusing on the getting ready for the charity ball, uh, for trying to not necessarily do it that month of rains, but the preceding month of cold. But that's what you've been focusing on, trying to gather relief initiatives from the noble class and the upper class, as well as getting ready for the reopening of Papery Industries that is coming up, thanks to your insurance proceeds that just barely got out because all the force majeure contract terms have been kicked in. So all the insurance companies are no longer fulfilling at this moment due to the giant wars. You just barely snaked it in for it with Bruce and your father's connections with insurance companies. But anything else you... Oh, and you also had a little bit of tension, shall we say, because Bruce said no to you because you were running low on, or not no specifically, but said, "Hey, we gotta ration these."
No,
potions.
you said he said no, and I didn't take kindly to that.
Okay. Any other things you want to highlight during
Um,
your 1 month during the giant wars?
no, I'm still training every morning with Zadie, if
Okay.
she'll have me. And
Mark
like
those hours, and I'm putting this on players. Everyone, mark your hours, however many hours you're training to start getting higher
hey
your
Zadie,
thing.
how long have we been training for?
I already had yours logged in this, and if you're, let's see, an hour every. This is. I mean, this is just another 20 hours.
Perfect. Say less.
Yeah.
I'm working now. Are we working specifically on decks? Or are we focusing a little bit more on like dual wielding now?
I finished my prior training. I'm switching to Dex.
I've finished my decks.
Good. That means I can mentor you on dual wielding.
Nice. Because I
Perfect.
will say, training in this stage of the story is going to be important because there's going to be more like 1 month time skips that can help up your stats.
How much does that, if she's a mentor, how much does that take off of my required hours?
I believe it doesn't take anything off, but it accelerates 1.5. So if you're training for 2 hours, it counts as 3.
So if we train for 20, it's
30.
Thanks, guys.
Math, Alice, math.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not here to do. I'm not here to do math, darling.
You rolled it before. It was 330.
It's 666.
666? No, that's right. Because I thought I could cut it in half.
Yeah.
I can't cut that
Keep
much
track.
in half. But yeah,
Keep
no,
track of it.
Yeah, you're 80, 90 in.
Okay. Perfect.
No, you're not. You're 110 in. I forgot to add last training. You're 110 in.
Yeah. Plus
Thank you.
this turnaround, that's an extra 30, so you're closer now towards 80. So good job. Keep track of it. I'm not gonna track it for you guys. You gotta track it.
Yeah. Okay. That I know Hathis is busy, but I've been trying to. For the last 2 months, I've been trying to speak with him about his car's
Yep.
extended warranty. Me.
Cool.
So at some point, I would like to bring that up with him. It doesn't have to
Okay.
be an RP. Just hey, but I know you're kind of busy, but also you're not that busy because you don't have a gym to run. So like,
Well, which is technically false because now let's move for a moment to Erlon's thing. He will help you with the training, Alice. But Erlon, during your 1 month, you mentioned you wanted to try to build the Red Bear Gym.
Yep.
Which city are you trying to build it in? Again, is it in Jedna or
Jedna again, yeah.
Jedna. Okay. You are building and trying to do things. You had to come up with some cash for it. Were you able to pay I believe I said it was
yes.
20,000?
I took it off already. Yep.
Okay. Cool.
I took it off.
Great. So you have funded that. They are getting the permits. They are going to start construction next month of a new Red Bear gym, thanks to you. And you'll have a gym with your colors, shall we say, in Jedna for it. So Havas is busy, but he can give private lessons to anyone in the fort if you guys are willing to invite him into the fort for things for it. Which I will also mention to, I know Zanny and Lance, you both were kind of spearheading this before. If you guys want any extra security in the fort, whether that is mercenaries, whether that is getting any electrical systems that will like zap people, kind of like that arc pylon that Zanny you were looking at before, or just any more powerful magics, you guys have that option for it. You also have that teleportation circle installed already. So your fortress is not just minimal. It still is a bit minimal, but you have furnished rooms, you have a teleportation circle, and you have a fern that helps with the dial for things.
After we get the teleportation circle in, we immediately install iron doors over the top of it.
Yeah, well, stone, but yeah, iron can work. You technically only need stone, but hey, iron will work also because it just blocks the magic from activating. But iron works. Iron's much cooler. And I'll just give it to
How
you.
big is the teleportation circle?
It's 10 feet diameter.
We can also just do a lead sheet.
I was gonna say, can we do silver because that just looks cooler?
Oh,
Yeah, if you
that's
that I'm gonna say has an extra cost for it.
Well, yeah,
'Cause-
that's fine. How much would
Fine.
it cost?
Let me see. I would say 10,000 silver. Just the raw silver coins.
2,000 silver? 10,000 silver? Done.
Okay, mark that off of your sheet, and you have
And
a
Lance will
silver.
fabricate it, and
Because
he's gonna.
that's exactly what I was saying. You're fabricating it.
And Lance is gonna make this thing look awesome because
Yeah.
Lance has way too much free time while he's waiting for beetles to eat things.
Yeah. Plus, fabricate is an amazing spell to have in long-term
Well,
campaigns.
and Lance is also a master of jewelry's tools, so it looks really cool and intricate when he's done with it.
Alice, you have your hand raised?
I'm
Let's
assuming
spend
you're gonna
time
circle
with-
back to me.
Okay. Yes. Finish. What would Alice like to do else?
I need to know how much time speed read cuts off.
I believe last time we said that you were at an intermediate level.
Yes.
If you are also reading, how many hours a day are you reading?
I'm just casting the spell once. It's 100, or sorry, it's an hour, but that means I can technically read 6,000 pages.
I will say you're running out of books to
Yeah,
read
no, I
to
figured as much.
retain the language because you're now just rereading the same book, which is just the same words. Are you willing to invest in other books? that
Yeah,
are special?
that's
Okay.
on the list of things that I purchased for the fortress. She's purchased like language books.
Okay. Mark off. Did you already mark off the coins or no?
Yeah, that was from when we first moved in.
Okay. So you bought up to, what was the highest level book that you got for it? Do you remember?
It was either intermediate or advanced.
Okay.
What language are
Or-
you learning?
Celestial. Was there an option for books that were just in Celestial but stories? I feel like there were. Like
I
they're
honestly
just books in
can't remember.
Celestial.
I'll give you the advanced because this has been something you've been working for, but you need
I originally bought I gave you the intermediate set or the beginner set.
Give me the beginner.
I had the whole set. I had all the
you
way
had the
up.
whole set. Okay, there you go.
If you asked me to borrow them.
Then I will. She also would have tried to find like books, like romance books in Celestial if she could.
There we but thanks to Chance, if
Yes.
Alice is asking Chance specifically for it, you can, if there won't be any cost, you will mark on your character sheet advanced. You're only one level away from mastery of the language.
Nice.
And I have finished the course.
And you have finished it, so you have mastered and you are now Celestial fluent. It's fluent in Celestial.
I have a logistics question on that. Could
Sure.
I make Alice books with Fabricate if I speak Celestial?
No, here's why. You need to know what the story is.
Could I take the book and fabricate a book that's in common into Celestial?
I have a ton of books.
Like, just literally take her books and then fabricate it into Celestial.
So here's one thing that I'm gonna ask, because I'm willing to do it, but I have to ask this: how would Lance know what's exactly in that book, to like page by page, to transcribe it?
Would I need to know?
Yes, like that would be something you would have to know. Otherwise, it just turns out celestial gibberish, so to speak.
What
Like,
if
I'm willing
I
to do it
cast,
if
what
you
if I
can-
cast speed read on him and he can finish these books in approximately 4 minutes and retain everything on the page?
I'll give you that. If,
Okay.
But wait. I want to just make sure I'm looking at all the different sides because I want this to work. I'm just trying to make sure. it
So
will
if
work.
she casts speed read and it takes me 4 minutes to read a book, I could do 15 books I know what they are, and as long as I immediately, when I'm done, cast Fabricate on the books to change the language from
you will
common.
you will need the supplies. You need ink, paper, and the leather for
I've
it. Or
got
the
I've got
hardcover.
paper, darling.
Okay, but this is for supplies, marking off the supplies for
Could
it.
I
Or we
not-
can just go to the bookstore. There's
And I will
multiple
say-
bookstores in all the cities.
Yeah, but I will give it to you. You can do it, or you could just support your local bookstore.
Okay, we can support our local bookstore.
But yeah, that will work. And Alice, you do test that theory, and it does work. But you always need the supplies for it. But it does work for it.
Gotcha.
Because like I said, I want it to work. I just you would have to know. Otherwise, it'd be like me taking one book that I read and then just trying to fabricate a new book. If I don't have it all memorized, how would the ink know where to go?
Should we
I
open a bookstore?
figured it was like AI.
It is not like it.
It's magic AI.
Lance, do we open a bookstore now? Well, I give you speed read, you fabricate the book, and now we have shelves full of books that people want to buy in languages that they're not normally published in.
Oh yeah, and screw the author.
Yeah. Chance, that's why I took my thing off. Chance is not.
Chance is like, I'm going about to throw hands.
What if if we contacted authors and got the right to translate their books into other languages for a fee to be able to sell them? Like we buy a license to a book, and then we can sell it in any language.
Okay, yes, but also if we're going through this, what advantage is Fabricate having over the fact that we have a literal publisher and someone who owns a literal paper factory? Like, we can do this the regular way.
I will also point of order. Alice did receive a gold-plated,
Oh, that's right.
small, published like printing press from
Also,
General Almanzor.
Then you have to go page by page, and the fabricate's just faster.
We don't have to do it. You know that there are thousands of people in this city who are currently jobless.
Okay, so this is how we create jobs: is we
Yeah.
we hire anybody that speaks two languages, and we
also,
start
okay.
translating books.
Chance is getting excited for this.
Okay. This is not a bad idea, but why don't you let me coordinate this with, again, I have a publisher who has all of the equipment to do this on a large scale. If
And
we
the
can
business
help them
licenses.
hire more people to do the multiple languages, then we can do this. And we can help with wherever we need to, but like, we don't have to do this. In fact, it's counterproductive for us to do this.
That is true because of your spell slots. You are using a lot of your spell slots for it. Because that's a 4th level fabricate for one book.
It's
Yeah.
only a first level speed read.
And a 1st level. Yeah, but I'm
Is
talking
it
about
one
fabric.
book, or could I do like 15 books at a time? Because it would be within the cost and the size.
I think fabricate says specifically an item. I'll double check that, but
It does say that, but you said before that he could do multiple of when he was doing the other thing.
It
Okay.
is an item, it's just many of an item.
Yeah, because you said like I could create like nails or like 6 chairs or something like that at a time.
okay. If I did that previous ruling, then yeah, I'm bound to that. So okay. Hey,
But
I'm a fair
still-
DM. If I made a ruling, I will honor it.
But you're
Even
right.
if it makes them
This
sound sad.
We have a paper company that would love to have more clients. We have a publisher who would love to get more work. We
Well,
have
I mean-
a bunch of unemployed people who would love to make get jobs at that publisher.
Sandy sticks
Like,
her
we
head
just-
out. An alchemist that can make you ink.
Yeah.
We've got the parts. You're making it more complicated than it needs to be.
Well, yes,
Yeah,
that's
'cause
my
it's-
job.
Yeah, no,
And
see,
it is-
I liked Our Way was funny.
Our
Alright.
way was just to kill
Okay.
time because we were bored.
Yes, very much so.
There are 1,000 other things for us to be doing right now. You should not be bored. I will
Lance
give
and
you
Alice
part
are
of my
saying
list.
they're bored, and meanwhile, Chance is running around with her initiatives.
Lance is just literally sitting in the fortress waiting for bugs to eat bodies.
All right,
And
you're
wa- and watch-
coming
and
with
watch-
me.
and watching Nima like watch her sheep.
So that means we're gonna set up an RP with
Oh.
Lance and Chance because Chance is gonna drag Lance out of the fortress.
Also, I do want to have a conversation with Lance about the sheep because Chance still thinks you bought the sheep for her. Because
Awesome.
because I had a conversation with Lily right before you bought them, right before I went into the magic thing, where I said something about wanting sheep. And then I came back.
That's great.
And then I came back and there were sheep, and I was like, "Oh, did Lily tell Lance to buy sheep for me? That's so sweet."
Awesome. But to finish things off, Erlon, what is Erlon? You also went and started slaying giants, which you got, I believe, a $16,000 reward for it,
Yep.
or 16,000 silver.
Silver.
For
Yeah.
it. You've been focusing on giant slaying, helping save lives by fighting them on the surface. Is there anything else Erlon is doing specifically throughout the month of wartime?
Mainly that's also kind of
Eloquent.
Well, like meeting up with Hathis, because obviously if we're gonna create this gym,
Yeah.
we're probably going to have to make it a little bit more affordable, I guess you could say, because I don't think a lot of people are gonna want to pay for a gym while there's hell being had. So probably developing some type of, I don't know, thing so everyday people can just join.
Okay.
Shit like
So are you
that.
willing to? He's saying that okay, we're you guys are doing a brand new one, and you're depleting all your reserves. Are you thinking of a more promotional, like half off, for the next month or two, or
We'll
are
do
you
a
trying to
pay what you can.
pay what you can? Okay.
Yeah, because this is more going to be to get our name out there. Promotional stuff.
He's apprehensive about the roll a persuasion check because that's
Fucking A,
he's worried that you're not going to make money.
I'll pay Hathis off.
Okay.
You said persuasion off.
Persuasion.
Okay.
You guys are business partners, so
15.
he's willing to do that because that was the DC. He is willing to do it and see how it goes for a month.
That's fine. Yeah, I was just say it's not going to be permanently, just temporarily.
Yeah. But like, he's incurring debt for it. So, but
Gotcha.
he's willing to do it.
How much debt is he accruing?
He basically used up all the reserves because that's what he wanted to do, was open up a second location. He had pretty much all the money, everything to open up that second location. That's why Erlon only had to bring a little bit to the table to open up that second location. Now everything from here is
how much is the remaining that he owes?
What do you mean?
Like, is he like he had? So he had it. What was the total cost to open the gym? 100,000.
I think so. No, wait. I think it was 50.
50? I'm pretty sure last time.
So Erlon put down 20. He had 30, and then any operating costs will be.
That I haven't calculated yet. I'm gonna calculate that to see, one, what are the operating costs during this wartime, and two, how many people actually give money, whatever they can, in the gym. So
perfect. Lance will hold the notes, and he'll give them a very fair interest rate.
Are you're a note for? Wait, who exactly?
What?
But if they need to take on debt for this next month
I see.
for
Instead
the startup,
of him taking money from a bank,
right? He can go through Lance, and Lance will give him a better rate than the bank.
Okay.
Oh, you're
Let
so
me
sweet.
I'm gonna write that down. Lance offered a promissory note, and we'll see if that is something that is going to be needed, based on the rules for the next month.
Fuck no.
I mean, we can even have the party do it, like as a whole. Lance doesn't need to do it by himself, but if everybody's comfortable with that.
Did I mention too that last battle we had and the camera people were there? I totally was promoting the shit out of the new Red Bear gym.
We were not doing that.
Oh, darn.
But there are starting, I will say, you are having shorts of your heroism playing at the cinema. So
are you Captain America now?
We'll see.
Shit.
But we'll see how those ratings are, because that takes time. This is back in the day where you have to actually cut the film, do all these things, and it's just starting. The premieres are just starting to come out. We will see how popular it is the following month. So
do we get like tickets to the opening?
I'm sure you guys could arrange that.
I'd
with
I'd
him.
like to finagle tickets for all of us and our partners
Okay.
to go on like a massive date to the cinema to
viewing?
watch our movie. Yes.
That is fun.
It is gonna be a wartime movie. Like this is
That's
how
fine.
the war started, and these are the
It's-
heroes.
It's about
So,
us. It's an action film.
Yeah.
Me?
So cool. All right. With that being said, now we pull back and make sure. Oh, last thing for you, Erlon. If you are deciding to train up, like your strength,
Mhm.
make sure you're keeping track of that as well, because this is the prime time to start training up if you want to increase or boost your strength score.
Gotcha. Okay, cool.
I had a quick question on that. Chance, what language books do you have? Do you just have Celestial?
Yeah, I only bought the set of the Celestial because that was what I was learning.
Gotcha. DM, would it be possible to find the set on Giant?
I don't think there was anything that I listed in Giant for the inventory, so this would be something you would probably have to order through Oasis Bardo. Roll a D100 to see if that is if they are even selling it anymore. So it's a 51.
I'll use.
You want to use that for this one? I said
Yeah.
it's 51 or higher, but right now there is. Let's put it as like a quote unquote freeze of sorts around the Giants for things.
Do we, amongst our allies, especially, I don't know, maybe people we met at the gym, do we know any giantkin?
All Giantkin have basically gone on the Giant side.
Oh, I thought like the humanoid types, like the Goliaths, would still be.
Yeah, that is. They've all joined sides, even with the
Okay,
Giant.
all right. I did not realize that.
Does can I? Lance will send Ascending to the Sliver of Wisdom and ask if she has any books on how to learn Giant.
I'm sorry, I do not have those books because I speak it, but my apologies.
Lance would send a second one. Do you know of somewhere where I could acquire that knowledge easily, as it may be helpful in trying to negotiate during this crisis?
Roll persuasion check.
I'm on fire with the dice tonight.
You're on fire today. I can see what I can do. However, all negotiations with giants have failed thus far. So,
Gotcha.
Just
with that being said, yes, Chance, go ahead. And this will be the last thing because we gotta get started with the.
no, just on that line of thinking, and before we go on this, should we get a scroll or two of tongues in case? I know some of us who do comprehend languages, we can understand what they're saying, but if we need to attempt to talk to them, do we want that?
Lance
make it my
doesn't
card for the day.
So,
Lance doesn't actually want to talk to them. Lance wants to try to figure out how to talk to their gods eventually. But he's not going to tell the Sliver that. Nothing bad will happen with Lance talking to random gods that shouldn't exist.
That's my job, bud.
You're not doing it. Lance got there first.
Okay. So, Chance, do you want to try to acquire scrolls of sending? Oh, sorry, not sending. Tongues.
Actually, is tongues a first level spell?
It's a 3rd level, but it is uncommon, I believe.
If we can just find one Chance, I can learn it in a day or two. Actually, I can learn it in a day, and we can just put it in the spell books.
All right. If it's not in your spell book, that's what we need. At least one of us to know it.
Okay. How much is the scroll? They're 2,500.
Correct. 2,500 would be Yes, 2,500 silver. I just was
Okay.
quickly trying to the math of gold versus silver.
Yep.
Yes.
But-
and
plus-
then I'll put it in my spellbook.
Yeah. You don't need an unlocked one because sending is a wizard spell, so you can just grab a
Tongues.
Yeah,
Tongues.
tongues is a normal is a wizard spell, so you should be good. All right.
Oh, I still
Go
had
on.
one more thing. Yeah,
Sure,
during
sure,
my
go
turn.
ahead.
Sorry.
Yeah, I didn't mean to
Um,
cut you off.
No,
I
you're fine.
apologize.
No, you're good. You're good. The other thing too that I was gonna do during that one time was kind of actually if I'm able to check on Scanner's Guild.
Yep, they
after everything.
are busy with giant sling contracts, so that's kind of
Okay.
also where you're getting paid for every giant you're slaying.
That's what I was thinking. So okay, cool.
Yep. But hey, you are spreading there. Big Red is putting Skender's Guild on the map, almost like outpacing the Paragons in Zarek, as well as the Dawn Callers in Timoshk. So you are
Okay, cool,
pushing
cool.
that.
That's awesome. All right, that's it. Thank you.
Sweet. All right, it is now time. You guys are meeting with Western and Eastern forces. I will say you guys are meeting you're meeting in a encampment, or actually before that, in the morning. Does anyone read the newspapers? Okay,
Lance probably would.
2,
I read the
3,
newspaper.
4. So the only one I'll just ask Erlon. Does Erlon read newspapers, generally speaking?
Unless already knowing that it's about him, no.
Okay, then everyone but Erlon is aware. The Sultana Fatima has officially, or she has used the wish spell. It is unknown if whether or not she has lost that ability permanently, but with one wish, she basically brought back to life 347,000 people for it. And the reconstruction basically of the city, or no, it was mostly the people. So 347,000 lives were saved by the Sultana. She has helped arrange at the same time this joint operation with the help of General Al-Manzor. And also Blue Dragons are now trying to take parts or fight the giants. So lots of developments happening in the Giant Wars. But you all go and meet with the general as well as Eastern forces, and you hear this debrief. We are currently going to be attacking the floating city of Ruler Mark. It is a cloud keep, and we are going to assault it and try to focus on bringing it down. Bring it down to our level and essentially dismantle it. We could use it potentially as another staging ground for it, depending on how effective or ineffective our forces are during this trial run. Eastern forces are already primed and ready to start firing artillery blasts to push the Cloud Keep off course into our trap. We have bargained with the Jinn to have expedited sky ships at the ready. The plan is we will push the Cloud Keep off course right into our trap, bombard it with the sky ships, and then have a landing party. Right now, for your team, we have two options for you, depending on how confident you are with your skills. Option 1 is a stealth mission. You all, alone, can try to infiltrate as we are distracting them with the sky ships and the landing parties. You can try to infiltrate it a few different ways. The main idea, though, is you 5 will be alone going into and trying to sneak past all the cloud giants to try to get to the control room. There, you will try to deactivate the main crystal orb that we believe is going to control the Cloud Keep. If you feel that your sneaking skills are not up to par and you would much rather aid the landing party, you can do so. Eastern Western forces will land on the Cloud Keep with a massif and slog through, cut a path straight towards the palace where that crystal orb lies. Those are your two options to help us in this battle. Do you need time to consider which one you feel more confident aiding us with?
To be
Lance,
fair, I don't think I do.
Lance remembers Alice tripping over a rock that wasn't there.
Look, Alice was about to remember Erlon's affinity for going, "Oh, hello, Big Red is here," the second we walk in any door.
There is that too.
I can't with you.
He can't.
Like how all of us pointed fingers at somebody else.
Yeah, basically everyone's like, so yeah, you have
Do-
two options. You could
do we
stealth.
know-
Yeah, I was just gonna say that's not my skill set.
Do we know
No,
how
same.
long about it would take us to stealth through this?
There depends. There are different ways to enter. We've identified potentially two or three areas that you can sneak through thanks to scrying. You could literally sneak directly from the bottom of the Cloud Keep through one of the boulder chambers, where the giants are just literally dropping the boulders, and it rolls through different tunnels and drops from the bottom of the Cloud Keep. You can go through those tunnels, or you can fly using the cloud cover towards an observation post. Now, I know that sounds like it is looking right at the eye of things, but that's the whole point. That's the last place they'll be looking for a direct infiltration from it.
Do we need to use actual stealth, or are we supposed to, can we use heavy stealth?
Heavy stealth as in spells and...
Heavy stealth as in if everybody's dead in our path, then
As
they
in,
don't
if
know
there
we're
are no
there.
witnesses, it's a perfect stealth mission anyway.
Yes, you can. Just be aware, that'll be a longer path and you will have no support. If you take the path where you are fighting alongside the Massif and along the soldiers, you will have support fighting alongside you. And you will be their support as well.
Okay, the reason I was asking on about how long it would take would be like I could magically help us be more stealthy, but like there's a time limit on that.
Yeah.
This, if you're planning on the stealth route, it could be anywhere from, I'd imagine, 30 minutes to an hour, depending on how fast you're able to sneak through the palace itself.
I'm not. What kind of assistance?
What was that, Zanny?
What kind of assistance are we talking?
Well, are you talking about stealth or the
I'm
head?
asking Chance. What kind of
assault?
assistance are we talking?
Oh, I'm sorry. Didn't know you were talking to Almanzor or Chance. So go ahead.
Well, that is what I am
You talking
refining at the
invisibility
moment. But I was talking like either like enhanceability or there's something similar that gives you expertise in a skill, or I'm not sure if I can do this, but potentially making us all invisible.
or...
Now, I could only do one of those things, but I could do one of those things. So we'd have about an hour of something. That's what I'm.
Invisibility would be the absolute killer. I mean, in the good way. I feel like none of us are particularly great at stealth. I'm a walking bomb, and Red does make an entrance.
What?
Yeah, I don't know that we're the stealth route kind of kids. we might just have to. I feel confident we'll be able to make it. I just don't feel confident it's going to be quiet.
Well, Chance, how many people can you turn invisible?
Well, I mean, actually, I think I could do the second level spell. Get additional person for third, fourth, fifth, sixth, five. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5.
5.
All of us.
Yeah.
Is that a wizard spell? No, is that in your wizard spell book, or is it in one of your bard
I
spells?
don't believe.
It's not in my wizard spellbook. It is actually on my but it is on the bard spellbook or the bard spell list. I have it in my instrument, or I can grab it as my card of the day.
Gotcha.
Which, yeah. But it's also a wizard spell if you also want to grab that scroll. But yeah, if we cast it at 6th level, that'll get all of us.
That does burn
Or-
a 6th level spell slot, though.
Yeah, but since I can only cast it once, I'd have to cast it at 6th level. But if we get it in Lance's spellbook, we could also cast
Yep. So,
several lower level spells.
yep. So does anyone else have any input or ideas or thoughts before you guys make a decision which path you want to go with?
As I'm looking over my entire spell list, going, wait, why do I have see invisibility but not invisibility?
Yeah, it's because your eye.
Yeah.
Alice, were you about to say
Also, it's
something?
more important to see the enemies than it is to be invisible.
Yep.
Which is fair.
Yeah, more curious if anybody knows any, divination or necromancy type spells that have to do with invisibility that I'm not seeing right now. Because I
There
can
isn't
just.
none.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah.
Can you wait? You can learn divination spells.
It's a divination. Let's find out.
I think it's what
No,
it
you
is.
should get. You should take augury, real quick, and then ask it which way we're supposed to go.
Maybe it's not divination. I can take augury, actually.
Augury is divination, yeah.
Yeah, so it's divination and necromancy.
Augury, we can just ask which way we're supposed to go.
I'm literally giving you both options. He's like, hey, DM, which one should we go with?
I mean, if we spend an hour, sitting here communing, I only need me and one other person, so it could be me and Erlan communing while we're out of your way, but I could acquire augury.
DM question. How in advance of the operation is this?
I'd say this would be like 12 hours the night before.
Okay, so. Well, okay, that's long enough for me to prepare. So
Yeah,
we
because
can-
this wouldn't be something the military wouldn't do. This like, oh yeah, this is the morning of. No, they plan. They have to do things, but they're afraid of any like moles or anyone else harbingers trying to anticipate things.
I think it's a challenge for us. I think we might actually want to do it.
Which one?
Do we want to challenge, Zanny darling, or do we want something we're fairly confident in so we may live to fight another day?
Oh, we'll live. It's just whether or not we'll be quiet. And if we can do it quiet and quick, we might be able to save a lot of lives in the initial push. Because that's a distraction. If we can do it right, that's just a distraction. We can take it down in half an hour and we can save a bunch of lives that don't even have to go fighting.
Yes, but at the cost of our own.
Point
We
of
don't
order.
have any backup.
So, quick point of order for you, Zanny, just with what you were saying. The strike team is gonna hit no matter what.
Yeah. No. But like, the quicker we can get our thing done,
Okay.
the shorter they're gonna have to spend time on the front lines. So the more lives we save that way is what I'm talking
Gotcha.
about.
Just wanted to make sure that's like, yeah.
If
Cool.
we actually split off and do this and manage to be successful,
Yeah.
it'll cut the amount of time they have to spend fighting way down.
It is an option.
If we've got time to prepare it, I don't know. We have no backup, but sooner or later we gotta actually make a big call to save some people. You know?
All right. So is the
That's what I'm
let's
saying,
put it to is everyone in agreement to do try to stealth, or we'll do a vote just to see. We're going alphabetical order. Alice, is your vote? What's your vote? Stealth or combat slog? Or not combat? Raid. Let's do stealth or raid. Which one are you?
I'm more inclined to raid. I understand what Zanny is saying with the fact that we'd save more people in the initial burst of combat, but at the
Yeah.
same time, I would like to know that we have backup.
And you will be fighting alongside a Maciff.
Big Zanny, very big. You want to fight next to one
that's
of those?
Raid. Chance. Stealth or raid?
I'm more inclined towards stealth.
Stealth. Awesome. Erlon. Stealth or raid?
Raid, sounds like more fun.
All right. Lance.
And
Stealth or raid?
Stealth.
Stealth. Okay. Zanny. Deciding vote. Stealth or raid?
I am, as Tim talking, very, very torn between two things because the practical side of me says we just go raid.
Do it.
I'm looking at all of our because Zanny wants to go stealth, but like the practical thing is to just go raid because and it's
As
not,
a DM,
but
think about it from this perspective. Just because you said Tim talking, just you can raid. How many times can you say like I raided through a dungeon, so to speak, through D&D? Or
yeah,
stealth. Hey, I stealthed through all this cloud giant like Jack and the Beanstalk. Both are really fun.
I just don't think we're gonna stealth. I think it's gonna turn to heavy stealth very quickly, and
Heavy
it's just
stealth.
gonna be us fighting.
And then
it will turn into a heavy stealth.
At
It's
some
just-
point, but I don't think very quickly. I think we can keep this up till we get most of the way there.
Yeah, I think we can. I'm worried because we have zero contingency plan for if we don't. And
So-
also, just practical standpoint, we do have a guy whose entire thing is bring your own army, and that is so anti-stealth.
But that's the contingency plan. You said we didn't have a contingency plan. That is the contingency plan.
So yeah, Lance is wait. When you said bring your own army,
talking
you're talking
about
about
Lance,
Lance. Okay.
Yeah,
With all
Lance
the
is bring your own
skellies.
army.
That is true. I would just they are giants though. So
Yeah, it's kind of like they're not conducive to stealth, and against a giant, they're not going to be. We're talking about things that can destroy these things in one hit, and we only get to live after getting hit by it because we are who we are. If we'd have seen these guys 3 months ago, they'd have looked at this the wrong way, and we die.
So Zanny,
I think I'm going raid. Like I've been hard. I was on the stealth side, but I think practicality is going to win out for me. I'm going to say raid.
Okay. Raid it is. You make your preparations. And let's just very quickly see if there's any final things you were doing before the military operation. Let's go with Erlon. Erlon, is there anything you're doing before the strike occurs? Leading up to the last 12 hours, anything you're doing?
I mean, just probably trying to get as much information about this place as possible, I guess you can say, because this is very new to him.
Yeah.
Doesn't know anything about this place. So, I mean, trying to go into it at least with some type of strategy, but knowing more about like if there's any recon or something available previously.
What they were able to determine through different divination spells and arcane eyes, it's hard because the fact that they also have their own wards. but there's going to be the front gate assault, the street assault, or pushing through the streets, and then the palace. And the
Okay.
palace is both the like breaking through the palace and then getting to the control room. So
Gotcha.
there's that.
Fine.
Anything you're
And
preparing, like any magic, any things you're doing in anticipation for it, though?
yeah, I mean, sharing that information with the rest of the group, but then also, I mean, praying has been really helpful a lot of times with this kind of stuff. So I will pray yet again.
Perfect.
And that's
All right.
about it.
If you pray, you're able to pray. And we'll continue going forward from there. Let's go to wait, that was Erlon. I accidentally went in reverse order, so let's just do that. Alice, is there anything Alice is doing in anticipation for the fight? Any spells you're preparing before you get on that skyship?
Yes. I get to keep my bardic inspiration stories indefinitely until like a long rest, correct?
I think it's a short rest
What?
because you get
Really?
because then you get all your spell your stories back, your inspirations back.
So they
If we
don't,
don't take an actual short rest, they don't go away.
but I
Technically
need
true.
a short rest after the fact, after I get it.
Yeah, and that resets all your bardic inspiration dies. So I would say it would also reset all your stories.
Is that true?
So I'm interpreting.
I feel like it said in here somewhere that I keep them until I give it, but I can't find that, so I guess I'm inclined to believe you. Brickle-frack. So I can't get a story short rest and then yeah, no, it says short rest.
See,
So nothing.
I'm like, you doubted me.
No, I don't doubt you. I just thought I read specifically somewhere and that's where I got my little idea, okay?
Okay.
I
So
am over breakfast in the morning because I'm sure Zandy's gonna make us a filling breakfast. Correct? Yeah, sure, Zandy. Yeah, Zandy takes care of
I
us.
am nodding. Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
I'm prepping spells. Sorry.
No, you're good. I am going to spend 10 minutes really hyping up the fact that, you know, for each person, why this raid is so like why this was the way to go. So like, you know, she'll talk to Sandy about how amazing it's going to be to fight alongside a mastiff, and if she gets close enough she might be able to see generally how it ticks, and you know, like for Chance and Lance, yes, we didn't go the stealth route, but at the same time, like we still get to achieve our goal, and we actually get to use the skeletons this time around, and Chance can help a lot of people rather than just us. And for Erlon, it's like, no, you're gonna ride into battle as the head of our army, and everyone will be shouting Big Red's name from the literal heavens, and everyone gets 16 temp HP.
nice. All right. Sounds good. Let's then go to, if nothing else, Lance. What is Lance doing in anticipation of the raid?
The night before, like you said, he's going to do the skeletons, and
Then do the long rest, and then you're ready. You're good to go, right?
yeah, yep.
All right. Cool. Chance, what is Chance doing in anticipation of the raid?
Um, uh, probably
Chance
not a
would like to
lot.
rage.
Okay.
Just
men-
regular getting my spells together, trying to decide what I got for the day. Yeah.
Perfect. And also spending time with family. So great. And Zanny. Anything Zanny is doing in anticipation the last 12 hours before she gets on that sky ship.
There's some spell preparation. Also, since I did make those syringes, and two of them are for the group. One of them is going out to Alice, and the other one is going out to Lance. Because Chance and I already have like buttloads of healing spells on us.
Okay. Great.
And those two are less heal adept, so I'm gonna give it to them to back them up. Because I'm not gonna give Erlon the magical casting wand. I'm not gonna give the barbarian the magical casting wand. Also, just as Zanny does do a nice warm. It's not a big fancy breakfast, but it's like it's a warm, filling breakfast. She's ever since the war started, she has skipped out on the fancy and just goes with like almost like southern cooking.
Hearty.
Yeah, hearty. Uh, hearty and well seasoned. But we're gonna go with a 4th level aid, and that's gonna be the whole party. So that's 15 max HP,
Damn.
and that's
okay.
real HP.
I have a question on that. Can you get aid from multiple sources? Or would that not stack?
I think you're only able to get the effect of one time for the spell.
I think
Because that's like
works,
casting haste.
Yeah, I think it works like temp HP in that if I cast aid for 15, and then if Chance were to cast it at a higher level for more HP, you could elect to take the higher HP total or stay where you are.
Yeah, there's no like sometimes the spell has details and sometimes the spell does not have details.
Yeah, there doesn't
And
seem
this
to
one
be
does
any
not have.
specific. 3 creatures within range, and their max and current hit points increase by 5 for the duration. And then when you cast at a higher level spell slot, it increases by 5 per spell slot. So it's just, it doesn't say anything about multiple castings of this cannot stack.
Yeah, I would rule that it would be limited. Like you can't stack it, just because that's the general versus specific. The general rule for spells is you can't stack a spell. Like you can't cast enlarge twice on a person. Can't cast haste twice on a person to give them like double haste. That would be my interpretation of it.
Yeah, it makes sense to me.
Yeah.
And
Unless it specifies otherwise, or if you want to look after the fact and give me like sources that says like yes you can, going forward I'll change that ruling. But yeah, I have to go with like kind of like the general versus specific rule for it.
And also, because aid took 2 spell slots, and am I gonna have? Well, no. This is gonna be with us having enough time for prep. So
yep.
With me doing it ahead of time, I am going to aid the whole party, and then I'm going to screw it.
You're going to screw it?
3, 4. No. If I take 2 short rests in preparation, everybody in the party has Death Ward.
Everyone in the party has Death Ward.
Everybody in the party has Death Ward.
Nice. Does that include yourself?
That includes me. Everybody will also have a Death Ward effect on them when they go into this combat. So, because I have, thanks to my brand new Awakened Vestige, I have 4 spell slots per short rest.
Mm-hmm.
So 2 will be used for aid. These next 2 will be used for 2 Death Wards on, we'll say, Alice and Erlon first, and then Zanny will go take a short rest and give it to herself, Lance, Chance, and who else is coming with us? Who else wants one? Because I got one more in the tank before I go take another nap.
I'd say you got no one else, because I doubt you want to bring Big Orange into the slog.
Oh, God, hell no. I'm taking another nap then. Bye.
So.
All right, so everybody's got Death Ward.
With that said, oh, go ahead.
Okay, do we know what it is we have to do to this crystal when we get there?
You're going to deactivate it or like bring the Cloud Keep down. That's the goal, is to bring it down. Whether you want to violently sunder the Cloud Keep or just gently bring it down for the quote-unquote cavalry to just surge through, that is your guys' choice, but bring it down, essentially. So when you get to the the crystal orb, you can utilize the magics to decide the fate of this specific.
Okay, so it's like a controller. It's not like something that we have to do something to.
Correct. It is in the control room. It is like a control rod, so to speak.
I do have one clarifying question. What are the rules of engagement?
Kill all giants.
Okay, I'm just I want to just make sure.
Nope, don't need to take any prisoners.
All right.
And if we want to.
What was that?
I won't
Can
be.
we if we want to?
If you're able to capture them and keep them contained without, wasting any other Western or Eastern forces, yes.
What level are what CR are giants?
The cloud giants are going to be varied, but the traditional cloud giant is CR9.
And the capture bottle does up to 5.
The vase, no, wait. I think you have the. Did you guys ever? No, you didn't. Yeah, up to 5 because you didn't go for the big one, the lamp.
How much is that? I
I
forgot.
think it's
It's like
5.
250,000
Yeah, it's
or
50,000.
500,000.
No, hold on. Let me look it up again.
No, it's 50 for the CR1. You're talking about the rare one.
CR9.
Right? Oh, CR9? No, that's the stupid expensive one.
Yeah, I think it's 500,000.
Yep.
Gotcha.
That is that one.
I was gonna say we have a 5 and a 1.
Yeah, that is a good investment because that will capture even like a genie potentially for it because that goes up to CR11 actually, not CR10, CR11 capture. So it goes from 1, 5, 11, and the next one I believe is 16, and then I think the Iron Flask is the one that's legendary that can capture pretty much anything.
And the 11's 500,000, right?
Correct.
And then the 15 is 1 million or 5 million, I would assume.
Yep.
I don't want to spend the 500,000 right now. But if we find something that's CR5, I'm going to catch it and put it in my pocket and save it for later.
Sounds good. All right, let's paint the scene before we go into our break. Let's put some music on. The group is okay. It is the 1 month since the giant wars had begun. It is now the 3rd of cold. Wintertime, especially up here in the clouds, is very cold. But despite that, all of you are having your hearts pumping hard, blood circulating very quickly through your veins, right as you are hearing the volley of the artillery fire. The Eastern forces have their artilleries bombard, and these each one doing 16d10 damage against the Cloud Keep, forcing it to take evasive action, else it will get bombarded and damaged. And even though the Cloud Keep is made out of this cloud stone material, it can't take too many volleys of it. Forced into a trap, out of the clouds emerge skyships, bought and bargained by the Jinn of the Air Elemental Dominion. The Western forces fire cannons against the the Cloud Keep. The Cloud Giants themselves immediately take flight, charging to assault the sky ships, only to realize the mistake as another sky ship comes veering heavily out of the clouds directly towards one of the entrance gates. Immediately, a mortar strapped to the sky ship fires, detonating and blasting apart the gates. Wielding that mortar, or helping lift that mortar, I should say, is a Maesif that jumps down and flies thanks to new advancements in Maesif weaponry and Arcano technology. AKA, it has a cape of flight. It lands and drops the artillery mortar as it engages with a sword, shimmering and vibrant and bright. It steps forward as the group of Western and Eastern forces jump down and assume battle positions. Your team, Crimson Peacekeepers, right behind them. You all prepare And let me paint the scene, move the map. You guys are right here at the bottom. You have the magic carpet, should you need it. The gates have been broken, but spectral cloud giants form, feeding off of the hate and death of their previous brethren to challenge the combined forces of East and West. To your guys' left are Western forces, which include general sword soldiers with pistols, a couple of mages, and Hargrim, the Zeal cleric, who is hussing out a storm. These fucking giants! To the west, you have your artillery, which it's gonna be difficult to take inside. This is more for cover. You have your eastern soldiers, each with a hunting rifle and a mace, ready to fight. That's where we're gonna take our break. Let's take a 10-minute break, and we'll go for there as you begin the raid of Rule Marg, the Cloud Keep. See you all in 10 minutes. Welcome to Castles and Calamities. We're an American Dungeons & Dragons actual play web series, currently running 2 weekly games, one on Tuesdays and one on Thursdays. Our shows started streaming in August 2023 and have brought forward hundreds of episodes full of incredible story, memorable characters, complex NPCs, emotional role-playing, and exhilarating combat. We have lore, we have heroes, we have magic, love, and wit. So let's dive in with a little special insight video about Castles and Calamities. Join us as we tell you a bit about our journey, starting with first who we are.
We've gained and lost people along the way, but the 4 of us you hear today are 4 of those who helped create Castles and Calamities and have been here since the beginning.
Gassan.
Brian.
Tim.
And Aaron.
Over time, we've grown beyond the original 4 and currently have 9 players spread out across 2 campaigns. We are a group of friends who started playing during the pandemic. A lot of bad things happened in 2020, but one of the good things that came out of it was the popularization of online campaigns. Our first campaign together started in March of 2020 when several of the original players met through a campaign they found on a Facebook post.
After that game began to fizzle out, we wanted to continue playing together and started our own campaigns. 2 of the founding members acted as dungeon masters, with Gassan starting what would become the Silver Age and Brian starting a campaign called Singers. They're sometimes playfully referred to as Order and Chaos, respectively, because of their contrasting playstyles. The Silver Age is a direct prequel to the current Tales of Tellos Steam Age, and was a campaign that took place in a fantasy setting inspired by Renaissance Europe, full of mystery and political intrigue, as a group of adventurers journeyed across kingdoms and plains to combat an evil group called the Harbingers. Singers was actually an acronym, which is how Acronymic Adventures got its start, and stood for the Sigil Investigation and Neutralization Garrison of the Extraplanar Rangers. It was a fun and chaotic campaign that had each player play 4 different characters that traveled to different worlds to combat evil. It's not a direct tie-in to the current campaign, but is only a slight crossover reference, as the world of Heptagonia was one of the many worlds that the Singers visited.
As those campaigns came to their end, we realized we wanted to continue their stories and keep having fun together. Not only that, we wanted to bring in new players to expand our stories, and we wanted to stream them so that we could share these vivid worlds with friends, family, and anyone who loves a compelling tale. That's how the initial idea formed for Castles and Calamities, and we launched in 2023 and started streaming our 2 current campaigns, The Tales of Tellos and The Acronymic Adventures. Gassan, aka Order, runs the Tuesday series Tales of Tellos, and Brian, also known as Chaos, runs the Thursday series The Acronymic Adventures. Currently, we have weekly sessions for both campaigns streaming live on Twitch and uploaded weekly to our YouTube channel.
The Tales of Tellos is a collection of campaigns that takes place on the world of Tellos. It is a large planet with 2 moons and has an extensive history of magic, heroes, wars, and political intrigue. The current campaign is called the Steam Age, and 200 years have passed since the events of the Silver Age. The Industrial Revolution has come to the lands of Eremer, a land of harsh deserts, lush oases, and bustling cities. New innovation and technology is pushing Eremer to grander heights. But for all of Eremer's industry and magics, civil war threatens to tear apart the mystical lands of the Sultanate. Neighboring nations seek to steal her secrets, and an ancient enemy seeks to bring about the end of the world. This is a story of many stories, with heroes, criminals, and travelers helping determine the course of history. The Tellos is a campaign set in a rich world with deep, expanding lore, complex characters, and of course, lots of actions. It airs every Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time or 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Acronymic Adventures is our other mainline campaign in a separate setting than Tales of Tellos. The current adventure is the Guild campaign, set in the world of Terrasol on the continent of Heptagonia, a continent shaped like a 7-pointed star with a wild creation story involving the literal tug-of-war of the continent by rival dragons. The land itself is ruled by the Adventurers Guild, and the players start in the academy that trains those with talent in an attempt to prevent accidents of unrealized potential manifesting into danger. The land has gone through many catastrophic events and is currently recovering physically, technologically, and socially. But there is always trouble brewing under the surface that sparks many an adventure for those brave or foolish enough to seek it. Guild is a campaign where chaos reigns. Magic, mystery, and fortune are out there waiting to be rediscovered. Are you ready to join the grand undertakings in Land Divided? Join us Thursdays at 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern.
Castles and Calamities is order, chaos, and everything in between. A group brought together by friendship, fun, and a love of storytelling. Both campaigns are expected to last several years, and hope to continue with future campaigns in the same worlds. We'll also be releasing new content, including character interviews, lore, art, game discussions, fan communities, and maybe even new campaigns in new worlds. So stay tuned.
You can tag along on our quests at Castles and Calamities, all spelled out, no spaces, on Twitch and YouTube. Or take the easy route and just click on the links in the description. We hope you feel like a member of the party, laughing, crying, and sharing in all our victories and adventures as you join us on this journey. Welcome to Castles and Calamities.
All right. Welcome back, folks. We are back from our break. If you're tuning in just now and didn't see the first half, no worries. It's it's basically going to become a raid. The group has decided to assault the Cloud Keep and help the Eastern and Western forces cut a line path into or towards the palace, and ultimately to take control of the control room and bring down this Cloud Keep from giant hands. The group has just had an epic landing of sorts onto the main thing, and let's just go right into it. Everyone, please roll initiative for me.
Is it because we're on the carpet? Is that why we're flying? Or is that our death ward? That's our death ward, isn't it?
The death ward is the little
Icon.
light and everything. Yeah.
Oh, boy.
All right. Let's see. Zen. Well, yeah. Cool. All right. With that being said, let me just make sure everyone is
I have to
accounted
manually
for.
put mine because it wouldn't let me like click on it before I clicked on the initiative. So
Okay,
just give me that up.
I'll add you to it. What was your number?
I believe it was 12. It only rolled 1 for my initiative. It should have rolled 2, right? Am I like going crazy?
I see 2.
Do you have this? No.
Oh,
yeah,
it rolled 2.
you have-
No, it rolled 2. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. All right, let's put descending order. All right, Lance, you are up. Start of the battle. You're descending on the carpet. You can use your speed with the carpet or jump off, but it's game time.
Lance will jump off and run and stand right here.
Cool. All right.
Or probably right here. How far? I need to zoom out. How far away are these dumb things? Way far away.
Yeah, they are 95 feet away from you right now.
Fine. I don't have anything magic missile that'll hit that far. Actually, I do. Oh no, fireball will reach that far. Lance is gonna go boom.
Okay. Throw a boom. 150 feet. Yeah, you're in range. So they must make dexterity saving throws. Let's see. They do 1 and then 2. Nat 20 and nat 1. Back to back. All right. So
What's the 20 total?
26.
Okay. I was gonna say my DC is over 20 now, so.
Yep. Which is really cool. So, but yeah, 26 and a 7 total. They have a +6 dexterity because they're made out of wind. So first one takes 15. The other takes the full 29 damage. Nice. All right. Fire that. How does Lance you cast his fireballs now? Is it through his grimoire or still from his staff?
He's probably holding both.
Okay.
So he probably
Nice.
touches his grimoire to the staff.
And then cast. That is really cool. Okay.
He touches the staff to the grimoire and kind of like pulls it out,
The
the
magic
spell
of it?
out of
Perfect.
the grimoire and casts it that way.
Epic blast for it. So sweet. All right. That is your turn. Ahmed and David, they look over to you, Zanny. They're like, she's ready for another one. And you have another bomb on the screen that you can fire direct on your turn, Zanny, where you want that artillery to start going.
Okay.
So, all right, that's their turn. Zanny, it is your turn. They're about to. The spectral clouds are coming up. But what you doing?
Okay. Let's see. need to draw a line here real quick, these fellas. Let's see, about 50? Let's say... Let's err on the side of get one and not the not both. And if this guy comes forward, he's liable to have a bad day.
Very bad day.
So I will bonus action line them up for that. I'm really bad about remembering to do this beforehand, but everybody is linked.
Okay, I'll allow it. So you're good there.
And then
Perfect.
I'm going to take the carpet, and we're only gonna go up. Let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20. No, we'll go ahead and hit 25 right here.
Okay, I'll grab everyone else's tokens, and there you go.
Cool. And then I have an idea. May I change my order of my turn here? May I do my action before I place where this bomb's gonna go?
Sure.
For my action, I am going to, because I forgot the range on this sucker and I have it prepared, I'm going to point right there between those two guys, and I'm going to cast Slow.
Slow. Okay, here
And
we
we're gonna
go.
see how
Let's
that goes
do
first.
Wisdom first. Normal, and then Wisdom second. Normal. 21 and 16. What's your spell save? 20? Okay.
DC 20. Let me see if I have the... There is a breakthrough I get, but I may not have the level for it yet. No, I don't have the level for it yet. Never mind. Yeah, so I can't make him reroll that 21. So.
Okay, so one it saves, the other is slowed. The one on the right that failed the first one gets slowed down.
He's only got slowed?
Yep, the one on the right, the one that also failed the fireball.
Oh, well, then we're just gonna just a little bit closer to him. And we'll see. We'll see if he does anything except retreat, he's gonna get a face full of boom.
Yep.
And then that's action, move, bonus action, done.
All right, sounds good. It is now the Spectral Cloud's turns. This one, let me just see. Okay. All right, I want to just read the slow spell one more time. To regard the creature's ability and take more than one. All right, if the creature attempts to cast a spell. Okay, so this isn't a spell. This is an ability, so it still can cast this normally. Okay, cool. Let me just check. All right, fly speed. So this one is going to get closer. He's gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 for 40 movement speed. And then he is going to cast 60. That is 10 foot wide. He's going to hit Ahmed with this. And he's going to do Chilling Winds. So he immediately, like, the spectral just lifts up his hands, and you see it condenses wind and just explodes, and it's like a blast of wind pressure comes charging at. Lance, I need you to make a DC 20 Constitution saving throw.
You said this was not a spell?
Not a spell. This is an ability. And then Ahmed will do a fail. And...
It's just a 14.
14. Okay, you take 39 cold damage. And Ahmed takes the full 39 as well. And he is unconscious. Not dead, but unconscious on death saves. So that took out all of his HP for it. It didn't double. It was close, but he is on death saves. That's the first one. Second one is slowed. 5, 10, 15, 20. And then is going to do aiming at you guys on the carpet. Well, can't. So he's just gonna aim at the. He's just gonna aim at this soldier. Do the same thing. Chilling Winds. Fires. 42 damage. Let's see if this guy can make the save. 15 plus. Let's see. Soldier stats. Just barely fails it with a 19. So he takes the 42 damage. And is knocked prone. Oh, yeah. Lance, you were also knocked prone by it. So let me mark that prone. There we go. And that is the Spectral Cloud's turns. Chance, it is your turn.
Yep. Guess I'm going over to Ahmed.
You're gonna jump off the carpet and go heal, or are you gonna cast like a healing word or something?
No, I gotta go over to him. I'm saving the mass healing word for when there's mass casualty.
Okay.
He just gets the first level for the moment. Get
Awesome.
back up.
Cool. So 10 healing helps. He is back on his feet, poor things. Or he is no longer on death saves. He is prone. And he just says thank you as he comes back. Alright. Anything else for a chance? That was your action? Do you want to inspire anyone?
Just yeah, it lasts a while, so we'll just Erlon's the one that's always getting in there.
Yep.
Go do your thing, bud.
Go do your thing, bud. You feel that inspiration hit you, Erlon. You have a D8. Alright.
Yay.
With that said, it is now the Maesif's turn. Alright. The Maesif, you see there's a spark and the core in its chest starts to flare up and crackle with energy, and you see it immediately stomps both feet onto each other. Little clamps lock onto the ground that it's on, almost like it's holding it in position, and then it raises up its arm, and you see the core of it glows even brighter, and suddenly there's a boom as a lightning bolt comes down from the sky, hits its hand, and it hurls it right at the two spectral clouds. They must make DC 17 dexterity saves. One is already slowed. Let's see. So the first one's a normal. The second one is with disadvantage. All right. This one's really good. He saved with an 18. He doesn't take the full damage. The other one got a 9. So this one takes 30 lightning damage, and the other one takes 60 lightning damage as the massive explosion of it hits. I want all of you to please roll a nature check. And Lance, I want you also to roll an arcana check. Okay. So cool. Nothing from Alice. Lance, you missed the nature, but it's fine. Back-to-back twos, yeah, right. All right, Lance. So I'll say Zanny and Chance, you both looked at that, and it looked almost exactly like how the storm giants hold down the lightning and hurl it, which is really cool that they've been able to create that mimicry with the Maesifs. Poor things. You guys took that like something similar to it when you fought the storm giant in Jeddah. All right. After that, that is the Maesif's action for it.
Was my Arcana not high enough for anything?
No, not yet. The Arcana was something else, and the Nature was also a fail for it.
Gotcha. You just said I failed the Nature. You didn't say anything about the Arcana, so
Yep.
I just double checked.
Sorry, it's a very high DC for the Arcana for things.
Oh, don't worry, I'll get there. If I decide to, roll anything above a 10 today.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, the Archmage is going to fire. Why not? He will see what you just did, and he will fire a firebolt. So let's see if you just saw that was effective. Yeah, why not? He'll actually, or she will actually run forward and cast a lightning bolt. Oh, didn't want to roll. There we go. Let's go with that. All right. Fires a lightning bolt at the two spectral clouds. They must make DC checks for dexterity. One, and then the other has disadvantage. And got a nat 1. So both of them failed for that. They both take the 22 lightning damage from the lightning bolt. And then this mage is going to go down. This evoker is going to go right, not even do a lightning bolt. It's going to do the same thing Lance did and throw a fireball instead. So fireball, doing 8d6 fire damage. Another dex saves for it. 1 and 2. This one saved. This one failed. So 27 halved is 14. And this one took the full 27 fire. And then this evoker is gonna run away over here. All right, Erlon, you are up. Up next after you are the soldiers. And you're on mute.
Yeah, trying to figure out what I'm gonna do really, because gotta be close to shit. Suit.
I'll remind you, this is a raid. This isn't the first battle.
Yeah. I might just honestly hang by and have I don't know, hold on to a reaction if anything, if something gets close. I feel like a lot of it's right now just range based, so I don't want to like just force us to move the carpet or something and screw everybody else over. So
Okay.
that's fine. Yeah, I'm just gonna hold on to reaction.
All right, sounds good. It is the Western soldiers' turn. They are gonna go 30 feet. Let me just measure things out. They can't reach it, so they're gonna use their ranged attacks. Let's see. Okay. All right. Okay. So they're gonna all take aim. They're gonna be charging forward 10 feet, and they will actually spread out a little bit farther, seeing as what that one did. And start firing with just the basic pistols. So let's fire 5 shots with them. 1. Actually, they all have multi-attack, so 10 shots. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, let's see what hits. Okay, that first is a hit, 11. Second is a hit, 10. Nat 1, two nat 1s in a row. This guy's gun is completely broken. We'll put a red. But his gun's broken. That's a miss. That's a miss. That's a hit. And that's a crit. So 10 plus 10, 20 damage. And then 14 damage. And the last one's 9 damage. All right. Eastern soldiers are up. They're not even going to move position. They're just going to aim with their hunting rifles and start firing at this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right. Let's... Oh boy. Okay. First one's a hit, 17 damage. Second one's a nat 1. Third one is a 13 to hit. That hits. Miss. Miss. Hit. And one of the giant spectral clouds dies and is evaporated as it's getting a barrage of bullets. The other one's going to be targeted. 13, 14, and 14. Okay. Argrim is going to go over here. You got this. Don't get hit again. And he's going to heal him also for cure wounds. Let's cure wounds. Where are you? There you are. And gives him an extra 8 hit points. He's gonna be able to look at you, Lance. He's like, "You're doing good, son." As you're on the ground for it. Then he's just gonna wander over here, not even doing anything, as he's seeing there's only like one cloud giant left. All right.
Lance isn't even bleeding, really.
Yeah, you just got knocked from it. All right, Alice, you are up. Blast for the first round. What are you doing?
Not wasting a spell slot on this guy, so Eldritch Blast.
All right, fire your Eldritch Blasts away.
A natural 1.
Do you use
A
your
2.
reaction? That's a miss.
And a 9.
1 hit.
Wow, I haven't rolled over 10 tonight, by the way. I rolled 1s and 2s.
All right, 11 force damage. Awesome. There we go.
I'm just happy to be here.
Yeah. All right, anything for bonus?
Yeah, I'm actually gonna ask for a story. Yeah. Let's see who can reach me up here in the heavens. Oh, hey, Hakeem.
Hakeem comes out of nowhere.
Oh, hello,
Hey,
darling.
girl.
All right. Yep.
Don't ask me how. He just appears.
Could you stick around and keep me company? It's awfully boring up here.
Sure.
Perfect, guys. I have a very useful story to hand out to somebody.
He tells you a story about him and when he was burrowing and how he was clever to avoid detections from some wolves.
Oh, don't burrow here. You will fall out the other side.
All right, that is Alice's turn. All right, round 2. Lance, you are up. You are prone.
Lance will stand up.
All right, after movement.
He's gonna look at Ahmed and go, that sucked. And then he's gonna look at the storm giant, cloud spectral, whatever that thing. And how far away am I? Okay. He's gonna misty step 30 feet.
Okay.
Which is like right there. And then he'll walk forward another 10 feet, so he's within 30 feet. And he's just gonna look at that guy and tell him he sucks.
Casting.
Bane of Excellence.
Okay. Charisma save. They have a +8 for some reason, but that's still 17. Fails.
So
happens.
now if he rolls if he crits on a nat 20, it's an automatic fail.
Nice.
For the next his next 2 natural 20s in the next 10 minutes. So,
Nice. Okay.
or
That's
become
awesome.
automatic fails if he rolls a nat 20.
All right. Sweet. Anything for bonus?
The Misty Step was my bonus.
Oh yeah, the
action.
bonus. Yeah, got it. Wait, Misty Step is a spell. This is
That's
a
a cantrip.
cantrip. Oh, okay. Never mind. There you go.
It's just a fuck you cantrip, is what
It
is.
basically is. Yeah.
It's just a
Alright.
middle finger. That's all it is. It's
Excellent. All right. Zanny, roll a 16d10 for me, please.
My pleasure, Skip.
Slowed. It is.
I just wanted to make sure if he did crit on his save that he died.
Yeah, 94 points of damage. He had 13 hit points.
Oh,
Just
okay.
Zanny, describe the artillery shell firing as Ahmed gets back up, loads and finishes the mechanism, and fires. Just describe how you imagine this cloud, this spectral cloud, just going away.
So he gets blasted down, and then the mortar goes off up in the air, and then there's just a moment of, hey, dumbass, hey, up. You should look up.
He goes,
There's just a crater and a puff of cloud that just goes, and it's just like a smellless fart goes off. Boop.
So smart. There is a loud boom from the artillery firing and then hitting, but yeah,
Yeah, but he straight up his whatever corporealness there is to this spectral guy is just straight lost to the cloud that happens when the thing hits.
Yep. Awesome. And you guys successfully have conquered and secured the entrance gates. Is there anything you guys, let's go very quickly, seeing what you guys are planning on doing, anything at this moment before you move on to the next part? Zanny, anything you're doing after you had that successful boom for things?
I just I'm hopping down and I'll go ahead and pop a charge, just a single charge from my healing syringe into Ahmed myself, and I'm pretty sure that'll probably top him off from what HP he's got. But that's the only thing I'm doing. Just immediately, just
Awesome.
make sure our mortar guy is good.
Yep. So, sounds good. Let's go to Chance. Is Chance doing anything at this moment after you guys have successfully secured the first part, the entrance for things?
I sure am here.
Okay. You sure are there. Lance. Is Lance doing anything after securing the entrance?
Lance is still talking shit to the air.
Awesome. Alice. Is Alice doing anything after defeating those technically CR13 monsters?
Do we have a general idea how quickly we're going to come across the next group of them?
You guys could hold position here or start charging right now.
Like, is it could be 30 seconds, could be 5 minutes, or is it like, could be 30 minutes?
Anywhere from, I would say 1 to 15 minutes.
All right, we'll take a chance then. Alice is going to lean over. Hold on. Yeah, she's gonna scooch forward and she's gonna lean over to Erlon and start telling him a story about one time, completely unprompted. One time Hakeem was burrowing down. He's very, very, very clever boy. You have no idea what she's talking about. She's just talking about, is he a prairie dog?
He's a wait, what was it? Groundhog.
He's a groundhog, so she's just telling you a story about a groundhog burrowing and how clever he is. And now if you make a charisma, intelligence, or wisdom check, you can roll an extra d20 and add that number to it.
Nice.
Whoa, Hakeem's fucking cool.
Wait. I lied.
Okay, well, Hakeem's not that cool.
It's just a d8. You've just got an extra d8. Sorry.
No, it's just
worded,
so lame.
It's worded really weird.
Yeah, it's for the next 10 minutes. You add your bardic. It's basically you've prepped him. If he rolls anything that's based off those, he has the automatic bardic inspiration on it.
Yes.
So I'll
Oh,
allow,
cool.
because I was about to say point of order. He already has a bardic inspiration, but this is a different kind. So
Yeah, this is an ongoing effect that he just gets
Yeah.
to keep.
because
Yeah.
he also is inspired
Cool.
by chance for the next 10 minutes with that
Mhm.
inspiration. She gave
This
him.
is not inspiring story at all. You're
It's
very
not.
confused.
Ah,
You're
I am
very
confused. You are correct.
All right.
Mhm.
With all that confusion, the decision has to come. The mortar cannot come with you and will continue to bombard the enemy forces from this position. Do you want to leave any forces here to protect Ahmed and David? You basically are in command of this, except for the Mason. Mason will give you deference, but you can't, well, technically, yeah. If you want to try to leave the Mason here, you can.
To be honest, that was almost my thought, was leave the Massif here with the mortar in case the mortar does need to move somehow. The Massif's the only thing that could possibly move it.
You could do that if you want to give up having the Massif on your side for any of the battles to come.
Why don't we? Why don't we leave 2 soldiers from each side?
That's kind of what I was thinking. Like
Okay.
half
I
the
think-
east and half the west.
Yeah, I think we need the Massive with us because I'm guessing if there's cloud giants here, there's a storm giant somewhere.
Zany
And I
points
would-
out this dude and he's like, he stays.
Because he has no gun.
You fix your gun. You stay.
All right. This one also got hit, so I guess he'll stay. So only healthy people moving forward. All right. Is everyone in agreement with that? You'll have 3 Western soldiers, 3 Eastern soldiers, 2 mages, a cleric, and the Massif moving ahead. Are you guys going to leave any of your familiars behind?
Sheldon can stay here.
Okay. What was that? Several thousands of pounds?
Okay, I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure
I'm
we're
like-
talking thousands, not hundreds.
Yeah, I'm very sure. How much does a mortar weigh?
The gun. You'll just get a shell weight.
Yeah, that's like... No. I'm looking at... I think 7,000 pounds?
Yeah,
7,000?
Really mortars.
Yeah.
These things are made out of iron, not.
Yeah. 7,000 pounds.
Yeah. So never mind. Yeah, I had an idea. It's not gonna happen. Never.
Yep. All right. With that being said, the mortar is going to continue to fire at different locations, helping blast the enemy while on the enemy's front door for it. You all are moving forward. So tactically, do you want the Massif to be at the front, soldiers at the front, or you all at the front?
I don't know about you all. I kind of feel us at the front just to. Honestly, if nothing else, get red in the show.
Yeah. Throw the red at him.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, I was totally in agreement.
Alright.
Throw the red at them. Okay. So big red, your team at the front. Is that what I'm understanding?
hmm
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, can we split up so that the team that wants to be at the front is at the front, and then put the
Yeah.
Mason, and then put those of us who don't
No,
have any
Chance in the front.
capability?
Chance is in the front.
We can.
Yeah,
we can
put
take
Chance in the
we can
front.
Take a carpet team for the front.
Okay.
And then
That's
people
fine.
can get off the carpet and
You-
walk with people behind us.
I was gonna say, do we want the carpet at the front or do we want the carpet at the back and we walk in the front?
Oh, you know I like that. Support on the carpet, and us in the front. Well, anybody in the front that's gonna be engaging, just get on your feet.
Okay. So who's volunteer? Who's going to be alongside Erlon? Because Erlon's going to be the spear of the tip. Who's going to be with Erlon at the very front?
How far behind us will the carpet be?
to you. The carpet can move 30 feet.
I'm already thinking of a way of escaping.
I just need to be within 60 feet of you guys. So, like, however much I'm following, it's gonna be within 60 feet.
I only ask because if Chance is, say, 60 feet away, I know if Erlon or someone in the front needs a little bardic assistance, I might walk with the front to reach them.
Well, that's why I was saying 60 feet, is that's what my reach is.
Oh, it's 30 for me.
I have 60.
What?
Ooh, she's cooler.
Oh,
Must be a lore bard feature.
It's my stories that are 30. My actual bardic 60.
Yeah. I'm doing front too. I'll go with red.
Yeah.
For sure.
All right, Zanny, you're in the front. So the two small individuals.
Can I be in the middle of the front? Like, you know.
The Masif's gonna be in the middle.
No, I said the middle of the front. So you know, I'm being flanked by small people. So I'm in the front, but I'm in the middle.
Okay. You want to be 5 feet or 10 feet back from them?
5.
5. Okay. So Lance and Chance on the carpet. Is that what I'm understanding?
I guess so.
That's up to you guys.
I mean,
Okay.
Lance is probably better from a distance right now, unless you want him going all muscle man and charging in.
Yeah.
Yeah, save that till we get to the right before the control room.
Yep.
I feel like I just feel like there's gonna be something big right before the very end. I don't know why I think that.
I'm just tired of not using my low range spells, so I'm gonna walk in and use my low range spells.
This is a raid. It's the fun way to do it. So
Now I'm gonna go ahead and break out the dual wield. I was just I was walking around with nothing out, but now I'm just gonna break out this. Okay, time to go.
okay.
Got a martini glass and a rapier. I best be feared.
Awesome. All right. You
and,
all.
One
What?
last thing, just as we're coming through, I do pull the moonsteel short sword that I made. I pull that from my side and hand it over to you and go,
I already have 2 weapons. Why do you think I made 2?
But I've only got 2 hands and they're full.
No, the martini.
Put the martini glass down, girls. Down.
That's
Some
my
motherfuckers.
spellcasting focus.
Okay, fine. Do your stuff.
Don't you have a thing like the rest of us? You got the fancy.
The fancy. I mean, I am fancy, but
She is.
I am
Fancy.
the
The
fancy.
vestige?
Oh
Your
yes, that
vestige
is my
not-
spellcasting focus, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, can be.
The
Oh
ring.
no, okay, gimme.
I mean,
And
it was
all.
going on
Big.
your belt either way. It was just whenever we were gonna draw it.
Okay, Alice has 2 swords now.
Yes.
And
Nice.
I am straight up handing that over to you. Like, that's not a borrow, that's a yours now.
What is it?
It's named literally the name the same as your short blade of the 2 moons.
There you go.
Yeah,
Is it the elementally enhanced or not?
yes it is. They were both elementally enhanced. I got lucky on both of them.
Yep. Step. All right. You all charge forward and are rushing through the city proper. Roads are passing by, homes and other giant abodes all about. You all feel like ants rushing through this gargantuan setting of sorts. Down one alleyway, you are charging, rushing in, ready to engage the enemy, following the track line. Baby's waiting. Following the pre-planned track where you are supposedly going to meet the least amount of resistance, and it is correct. Until finally you reach a point where there is a confrontation, and you come across cloud giants, more cloud giants, blocking your path. As you've gotten closer towards the palace. This is the new scene. You guys are right here. There are 5 giants for it. 2 look normal. The others look strange and sinister as they carry boomerangs and such. Alice. Let's roll initiative again. Go ahead, you guys. Roll. Click on your tokens and roll initiative.
Guys, do you think I can roll over it too?
That giant looks like it's gonna steal the child, the baby, with the power of voodoo.
All right. Nat 20 for Zanny. Excellent. All right. Is
Make a good
1,
luck charm
2,
kid.
3, 4. Wait. 1, 2. We got Alice, Erlon, Land. Okay, we got everyone. All right. Let's start then. Zanny, you're first. What are you doing? You have 5 giants on the map. And this is an alleyway, and it's this big for things.
All right, Red. Pick one. Point him out.
6 seconds.
Based off of the ones that we had to deal with before, let's go off of these guys. The one on the left, the far left.
Big fella.
Yeah, that one.
Alright. You wanna... Yeah, fuck it. I ain't asking. We're just gonna get this. And I'm just gonna reach over. Which weapon you were holding?
Currently right now, it would be Legend Carver.
Alright, I just reach over and, slice my finger and, wipe the blood on it real quick. And bonus action, I'm gonna fetid blade your
Fetid
your
blade.
ass.
All right. All
Because
right.
It does have a range of touch.
So, code weapon with acidic substance. Get 2d4 acid and every hit. And you also make a melee.
It has been cast at a higher level. He gets 3d4 acid per hit.
3d4 acid.
Ooh.
And then they also must make a
Nice.
con save, or else they'll be poisoned.
Yes.
Nice,
It's
nice,
a
nice.
DC 20 on every melee hit or be poisoned.
20. Damn. Okay.
That's pretty broken.
Hey, you are using your spells wisely, Zanny, because this is 10 minutes in. And mind you,
Yep.
you still have your inspirations, Erlon. They're
Mhm.
right now coming to the cutoff for it.
Okay.
But that's your action, Zanny. Anything for bonus?
Oh yeah, I'm marking myself for cons. Or no, that's not my action. That is my bonus. That's a
Oh, that's your bonus.
action.
Yeah, you still have your action.
I love this spell. I just don't get a chance to use it very often. So he's gonna get that, and then for my action, my big boy over here is gonna get 3 pistol shots from Dreammaker.
Okay, go ahead. And are these sharpshooter or no?
They are going to be sharpshooter. Why are you shooting
Points.
+8?
Is it accounting for the sharpshooter?
No, it's not accounting for my intelligence anymore.
Hmm.
Because
That's
my
weird.
intelligence adds to hit. Apologies. I just realized I have to remap how to hit here. When you modified it to become a +2 weapon, it removed my modifications to it.
Ah, that's why.
That's what it
Sorry.
was. No, you're good. You're good. No. I just realized that's what it is though. Can it get? It's gonna get 5 to damage, 5 to hit because the difference between my dex and my intelligence is 5. There we go. Bang. Fixed it. And first roll is going to be an advantage because I rolled natural 20.
Yep, all of them for your
All of
rolls
them? Oh, I thought
are
it was
nat
first roll.
20s. No, it's your entire turn.
Shoot. Well, we're gonna double nat.
That's a
20
nat
then.
20, and you're getting a surge of dexterity because that is
Nice.
either dexterity or intelligence. Your choice for it to give to another person, the next person you touch.
I'm gonna pull
But-
intelligence.
Yeah, you'll see who you give it to. That'll be after the battle. Right now, what are you? You're shooting. I did say you have advantage, so you automatically get sneak. Be nasty with this. Tell me how much you.
Let's see. That is 14 piercing plus another 8. That's 22 plus another 12. That's another 36.
plus the 10?
Yeah, 52 points of, 52 points of damage plus the 10, so that's 62 points of damage on the first shot.
62 points of damage. You blow a hole in its knee, and it is able to continue going only because it has a fly speed. It is now flying off the ground as you've blown a hole through its leg. So 62 points of damage with your first attack. Proceed with the second, please.
Yup.
30 hits, roll damage. 25, I should say, yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and just, since I'm on the screen for rolling here. Alright.
And a 21.
Alright.
Both hit, roll damage with sharpshooter.
And it's going to be 26 points of damage and 34 points of damage.
Damn. This giant's
High on that
looking
last one.
less than half already.
Does that include
So-
the sharpshooter damage?
Yeah,
Yep.
that is
Oh,
adding
yeah.
sharpshooter in on those.
All right. Awesome, Zanny. Just wow. Erlon, it is your turn.
Yep. I wish we had that magic carpet. All right, we are going to. Oh, you did a great job, Zanny. You did great. We can dash over to him. All right, yeah, we have 40. Yeah, we'll dash over to him.
Okay. You're able
So
to
be
get
right
there.
here. Yep.
And then bonus action, are you
Bonus
raging?
action raging. Yep.
Okay, perfect. Are you action surging or going to hold on to that?
Is he looking pretty rough after he just got
Yeah,
knocked
yeah,
like crazy?
Zanny just did over 100 points of damage.
Yeah, well, yeah, no, I know.
So he's looking less than half already.
Okay, yeah, let's finish them off really quick. The sooner the better, so we can
Okay.
we'll action surge there.
Go ahead, roll your 2 attacks.
Attacks, yep. With Legend Carver.
And you have 3d6 acid if you hit. 18 hits.
Right. And you said 3d6.
Yep.
It's
On top of that all. Or wait, was that?
Oh,
3d4.
3d4, apologies.
no, you're fine. I almost
So
just did
11.
3d6.
And then 3d4.
Yep. That's the first attack with damage.
So 18 total. Nice.
Mhm.
Second attack.
Second attack.
That hits. Roll damage.
Yep. 3d4.
16, and then
Another 10.
4,
So 26.
and then another 10. Nice. But looking really freaking hurt. So that's your action, your bonus,
and-
and your action surge. So,
And then for those, didn't he has to make a con save or no?
yep, gonna make them right now.
Okay.
So 2 con saves. The DC is 20. Fails both. So it is poisoned.
So he's
Nice.
poisoned until
The start of your next.
This is the next turn. Yeah.
poisoned until the end of the
End.
attacker's next turn. So the end of Erlon's next turn, he becomes unpoisoned.
Yep. So disadvantage on all that. Awesome.
Nice.
All right.
Disadvantage
There we
on
go.
Cool.
Amazing turn. It is now the Maesif's turn. Maesif is gonna do 30 feet of movement.
Just steps over Alice.
He literally walks over her. Escaflowne style. And then reaches, stops. The clamps hit the ground. It braces and it reaches up. And you see again, the energy surges. Lightning comes down and it hurls it. And let's say it'll hurl it. Let's do it this point. And it's a 10 foot. Yeah, it'll hit these 2 giants. And lightning strike. They must make that DC or take 56 lightning damage. And that is dexterity. Let's go plus zeros. 1 saves, 1 fails. So this one on the top takes 56 lightning damage. The other one takes 25 plus 3, 28 lightning damage. And that is the Mace's action. It is now the Giant's turns. or at least the normal ones. This one's gonna come charging. Let's see. Movement. Yeah, even with flying and everything, just barely gets to you, not even towards you. Zanny, you are in range of his attacks now, but he can't reach you even with dashing. This one's gonna try to attack you. Erlon. Has disadvantage with its Morning Star. So 1 and 2. So 28 and 16. What's your AC? Is it 16?
I believe it is 16, yes.
Okay, so both hit. So I'm going to 24 plus 19, 34, 43, half, because it is bludgeoning. 43 half is 22 points of damage that you take.
Okay. Cool.
That's their turn. Alice, you are up. You can see past the mason, because you're just like, you could see past the legs.
Did Alice look up when it stepped over her?
No. Is it actually wearing that cape? Because that cape would have taken me out.
Yeah,
It's dragging the ground, so it's probably heavy.
It's billowing. It is a cape of flying, so it is billowing.
Okay, so I was gonna stab this guy, but Erlon just took a goddamn hit. I don't know if I want to stab this guy. I'm gonna roll for a story first, and she's very, very, very nicely telling Hakeem to not come back.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Okay, Hakeem doesn't come back.
Good for him. Hold on, there's too many different places to click. Perfect. How far is Erlon from me? Doesn't matter. Zanny, do you want this guy or the other guys?
You know what? I'll take this one.
Okay. I'm gonna hold on to that then. I'm gonna march my little self over here. Brandishing 2 weapons and definitely not enough alcohol in my system. And I'm gonna stab him.
Okay, go ahead, stab away.
I'm stabbing him in the calf with my rapier using green flame blade.
Nice.
I rolled a 7. Wait.
12.
What about a 15?
15 hits. Roll damage.
Hits, 15 hits. Radical. Roll
Radical.
damage. Yes, so let's see. It's this. Great. Thanks. 7 damage plus that.
Plus
So-
9. Okay.
Wait,
Nice.
that was wrong. I clicked the wrong thing. It's this. It's 7 fire damage.
Okay. Wait. Why 7, not 13?
The 13 is if it spreads to somebody else. The 7
Ah.
is to him.
Okay, so it's not the 9. So it's 7 plus
No.
7, 14 total.
Yes, 14 total.
Okay.
4 piercing, 3 radiant, 7 fire.
Gotcha. Cool. Looks like
I'm-
you annoyed.
Great, I'm like a mosquito.
Yeah.
You just poked his
Awesome.
toe.
I'm not
Yep.
drunk enough for this.
All right. It is now the Cloud Giants of Evil Air. They are going to 2 of them. Let's see. They're gonna get closer. This one's gonna go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. And let's see. I'm gonna roll a d4. On a odd, he's gonna target Erlon. On an even, he's gonna target the Massif. Odd. He is actually. Let me undo that then. Oh, come on. There we go. Let's go. No, can't make all the way there. So, yeah, he'll just go over here. And he's going to throw a boomerang at you, Erlon. His storm boomerang. And let's see. DC 20 to hit. It hits. I need you to make a DC 16 con save, Erlon. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
You want to use
Can-
your inspiration?
Can I use one?
You can. Give a D8 from chance.
Oh my god.
15.
Of course.
The DC was 16.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Erlon, you get hit with this boomerang. You take 4 thunder damage. You take 8 bludgeoning damage. That is already halved. And you are stunned.
Okay.
You cannot move for a moment as you are stunned, and it catches the boomerang back for it. This one is gonna go 40 feet. And he's gonna throw the storm boomerang at the Maesif with disadvantage because it's out of its preferred range. And the Maesif is able to dodge out of it because it rolled a 14. So that's a miss.
Good.
This one's gonna go 40 feet as well. And is gonna throw the boomerang at Alice. Also with disadvantage. 29 to hit. Alice, I need you to make a con save, DC 16. That was a nat 20 and then a 17 on the die. 19, you are not stunned, but you take 27 damage total. 17 bludgeoning, 10 thunder. As a giant boomerang comes over and smacks you the side of the head and then detonates with thunder.
Usually 27.
Yeah, 27 damage.
Oh no, I'm almost back down to my original hit points, guys. Look out.
That is those Cloud Giants' turns. All right, it is the Eastern Soldiers' turns. They are going to take position over here and just start concentrating on this Cloud Giant in front of them. So, hunting rifles, straight rolls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Let's see. 9 is a miss. 17 is a hit, doing 18 damage. 14 hits, doing 21 damage. 15 hits, doing 13 damage. That's a nat 1. They have to fix that on their next turn. And then, or actually, no, they use their reaction, I should say. And then 18 to hit, doing 10 damage. As they fire and pepper away at this giant. Western soldiers are going to charge. Look at closer. And they're going to be taking cover behind the Maesif a little bit and fire their own pistols at the giant in front of Alice and Zanny. Five and 6. Let me just customize one thing. Okay, there we go. All right, let's see. The pistols. Okay, here we go. 13 is a miss. 10, nat 1 is a miss. 21 hits, doing 8. 12 is a miss. Nat 20 for 24 damage total. And then another one is a miss with a nat 1. All right, Lance, it is your turn. You're on mute.
Lance is going to move the carpet forward. Like 10 feet.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, just move your token. You should also be able to move. There you go.
yeah.
And I'll move a chance. There we go.
And then for his bonus action, he's going to dump 5 of the new skeletons out over, like, the side over here.
Okay.
So they can go line up with these guys.
All right.
Or behind them, probably.
There we go. All 5 should be on the level.
Perfect.
and you should have control over that. Wait,
I do
no.
not.
Damn. All right. Sorry, one sec. All right. That's 1. 2 is Lance, save setting. 3 is Lance, save setting. 4 is Lance, save setting. And 5 is Lance, save settings. All right, now you should have all 5.
All right.
So that's your free action to drop them, bonus action to get them out of the bag.
Yep. And next turn he'll have him move and get in position.
Yep.
But for my action, I am going to drop a fireball right there at 5th level, which hits all 3 of the boomerang fuckers.
The boomerangs. And Zanny, no, they don't have name. They all designate like 1 through 12 at this moment, because Lance didn't want to name them at this moment yet. They're brand new, but yeah. All right,
Lance is more if they survive through this war, then he'll give them names.
They need
Yep.
to earn their names, much like
Yes.
the rest of the other people did. They earn it where they tell them to you.
All right, 3. So 16, 16, 13. They all fail. They all take 36 fire damage.
Awesome.
There's a big boom.
It's
There you
very
go.
disappointing for a 10th or 5th level fireball.
Yeah.
It's okay.
It's okay. All right. Well, hey, not to be outdone, the 2 other wizards, or wizards, the 2 other wizards are going to do fireballs as well. So let's go. Evoker, fire. Okay, let's do fireball. There you go. 1 and 2. They're gonna aim right where you so graciously kind of like pointed out, and they're gonna make dexterity saving throws again, because they're gonna take 29 and 28 fire damage if they fail. As booms happen, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, 28. That's a nat 20. Let me just check what's their DC. Yeah. Only 1 success. The first one who did the nat 20, which was this one. So let's do the. Wait, no, actually, they all failed. Never mind. That was the damage for the first one. So let's do minus 29 plus 28 is 57 fire damage right after Lance's boom. 7 minus 57. As they take 3 fireballs in seconds from all the wizards throwing fireballs. All right, Chance, you are up.
Okay, I will move the carpet 30 feet.
Are you riding the carpet still, or are you
Yes,
jumping off?
yes.
Okay. Pull that then over here. You're good. You're leaving Hamra?
Yeah, I mean, she comes with us, but she doesn't really come with us. She jumps off and hides in a corner when we get to our location.
Okay, fair.
She's hiding in some clouds under a stairs or a base or
she's,
something.
She's playing with the clouds like if it's snow at the moment. So, go ahead. What are you doing for your turn?
I don't have anything helpful, really.
So, what are you casting? Vicious Mockery? Any spells? Any inspiration for bonus action?
moment, I'm just waiting.
Okay, you're gonna take the dodge action.
Sure.
Okay. You do nothing that turn, so it is now time for the Zeal Cleric. He's like, I love a good battle in the morning. All right, and Guiding Bolt. And throws it. All right, so Guiding Bolt. Let's see. Let's roll for that. Didn't roll for it. Hold on. Okay, let's roll this instead. Yep, 15 hits against this guy and does Bizzle 9 points of damage. He's like, ugh. He kind of cracks his neck, shaking off the rust. But he is now glowing as first strike on him has advantage. All right, speaking of which, Zanny, it is your turn.
Thanks, Hargrim.
You got like nods.
I'm gonna start with an action of popping three Dreammaker shots on this point.
Okay, fire away.
And the first one with advantage.
Yep.
Sharpshooter.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
31, 26 hits. Roll damage with your sneak. And sharpshooter, which is a plus 10, so that makes it
That is
to
37.
37. Nice. Just blast this one in the chest. The glow fades. And you got your 2 shots left.
Oh, that one made. Yeah, that one's probably gonna miss.
That's a miss.
That's gonna be 11. Nope. Alright, last one.
That's a
24.
hit.
Sorry, 19. So that'd be 21 damage.
21 damage. Nice. Looking really hurt.
Let's see. Bonus actions. No, you know what I'm gonna. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do with my bonus action. Is I am going to. Is it possible for me to move through this fella, or do I have to go around him?
You'd have to go around it because you don't have the. You're not a like small folk, so you technically have to go around.
Alright, that is where I can get there. So I'm going to take my move and I'm going to put myself here so that I can help out Alice with some advantage on the future. But for bonus action, I will give. But for bonus action, no matter what she does for her next one, I will give her advantage of Mastermind. Just go. No, honey, you know, just form like we talked about, honey.
All right. Awesome. With that said, Erlon, unfortunately, you're stunned for this round. You can't do anything. It does end at the end of its next turn.
Its next turn, yeah.
So you are fortunate enough not to be stunned after it as it ends. But that is your turn.
Go.
The Maesif is up. Let me just check something. Yeah, the Maesif's gonna just come right, move 10 feet over. And you see it pulls out its sword and is gonna strike against the creature, against the giant. 17 to hit with the first strike, doing 34 points of damage, and he just beheads this cloud giant with one strike. And it collapses, and then goes 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Oh no, yeah. 20. There we go, because it went 10 and then 20. As it is just marching forward with the massive, like, buster blade at the ready. That is the Maesif's turn. Oh, what was that? Yeah, just in the head of the giant just immediately collapses. And it's just immediately, like, keeps going. All right. This giant is still poisoned. It's going to try to attack you, Erlon, one more time. Let's go Cloud Giant. There you All right, Morningstar 1 with disadvantage, and Morningstar 2 with disadvantage. 19 to hit, and then 22 to hit. They have plus 12s, even with disadvantage. So 21 plus 17 is 38. Halved is 15. 19 points of damage total to you, Erlon. And then the poison, yeah, it's until the start of your next turn, but your turn ended. So yeah, it is no longer poisoned. There we go. Alice, it is your turn. You just saw Cloud Giant just get beheaded.
Now I guess I'm covered in giant's blood and
No, the angle of it, he actually missed you.
cool.
Forget what the fuck I said about form. Do that.
I can't reach its head. And then Alice, for her action, is going to walk up here and she's gonna grab Zany by the shirt, point at, hold on, let me get my little measuring tool out. Point at this guy right here and go, that's where we're going. And
Sounds good.
my action is just to give us both essentially Misty Step as a reaction.
Okay. Do you
So
take
we
it?
have to take it. I'm taking it. I'm out of
Oh,
here.
yeah.
All right.
We can just pop 30 feet. Yeah.
Yep. There you go.
Uh-huh.
Thanks to call to action. And
Yes, we love her.
that-
And for my bonus action, we're gonna ask for another story.
okay, cool. Ask her another story.
It's her
And call to
again.
action again. Hey, that's good.
Alice
we
is
go.
like, if we can't get close enough next time, we'll do it again.
Yep.
All right, that's
All
my
right.
turn.
This one's gonna go. It's now the Cloud Giants of Evil Air. It's gonna go over here and it's gonna whack Zenny. 2 scimitar attacks and 1 storm boomerang. So it's gonna do these attacks on you. 1,
This works too.
2. What was that?
Just being quippy. This
Oh.
works too.
This works too. And then storm boomerang. All right. So 30 to hit. What's your AC?
Not 30.
No, it's for the
17.
second attack. 17. So the second attack misses because that's a
Woo.
15. Third attack hits 23. So the first attack, you take 22 slashing damage as it slashes you with the scimitar, and then immediately tries to hit you a second time. You dodge, but then it bonks you on the head with the storm boomerang, doing. Okay, so the first one was 22 slashing, and then the boomerang is 16 plus 5, 21 damage. I need you to make a con save.
21 you said for that one?
Yep.
Taking that off too. Con save. And then I need to make 2. Oh, this one is
That
already failed.
Headed blade is gone.
Oh, that was not for the thunder thing.
No, the first one was for concentration on the fetid blade.
Oh yeah, so Feta
Now-
Blade is okay. Yeah, so Feta Blade's gone.
Now roll for the con save for the storm boomerang to see if you're
Shit.
stunned. The
Oh,
DC
yeah,
is
also
16.
stunned.
You are stunned. You got bonked on the head and you're kind of like seeing stars at the moment. All right, that's the first one. Second one is gonna go. Let me see again. I'm gonna roll a d4 to see if he targets Erlon or if he's gonna target the Maesif. I'm gonna say 1 is an Erlon, 2, 3, 4 is the Maesif because he sees the Maesif as a bigger threat. Yeah, he's gonna ignore Erlon, thinking the Maesif's the bigger threat. And he's gonna attack the Maesif. 1, 2, and boomerang. All right, 26, 26, 30. All right, the scimitar is non-magical, so it does half damage. So that's 13 halved is 14, 7. Second one is 21 damage. 22 half is 11. Third one is a magical weapon. 30 hits, 17 plus 8 is 17 plus 8 is 25 damage. And then the Maesif needs to make a con save, or its system will get shocked at the moment and stunned. Let's roll for it. 11 plus 10 is 21. So it's not stunned. This Cloud Giant is going to go 30 feet. And is going to target, I'm going to do again a d4. 1 is Alice, 2, 3, 4 is the Massive. It is going to target the Massive and just throw its boomerang. 27 hits the Massive. That does 18 damage to the Massive. And Massive must make another con save. That's a nat 20. It is not stunned. All right. Eastern soldiers are up. These 3 get in position. Roll, look. Yeah, they're going to have to scatter a little bit. Actually, they'll just move 30 feet forward and kind of use the body of the giant as a little bit of cover. And they're going to shoot. All right, they're going to shoot the Cloud Giant of Evil Air in front of Zanny and Alice. Hunting rifle. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And 5, and 6. All right. 18 hits, doing 11. 12 is a miss, 10 is a miss, 24 hits, doing 11. Nat 1, this one's gun breaks. Womp womp. All right. Western soldiers are up. They're going to actually charge and try to harry and engage this Cloud Giant. All right, Lance, you are up.
All right. Well, they're still close enough together. I am going to do another fireball, but let's do 4th level this time.
You hear one of them glare at you and scream, "Woohoo!" You have no idea what that means, but they apparently don't like the fireball.
Yeah, fuck your mom too, dude.
All right, so fireball, geez, 27 fire. All right, 1, 2, and 3. All fail. 27, 27, 27. You've eaten 4 fireballs already. All right.
And then he tells the skellies to go get in line and shoot this guy.
All right. Go ahead, move all your skellies into place, and they are, I believe, with the short bow, it is range. I think they are with disadvantage. But go ahead, roll your attacks. Well, one of them is straight. The other are disadvantage.
Range on a short bow is 80.
Oh, then never mind. They all have straight rolls.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Ooh, and nat 20. Skelly number 1, leading the pack. 2 hit. The first 2.
A 12 plus 6, so 18.
18, nice.
Max possible damage.
Yep.
And the other one is an 11.
Nice. It peppers it, takes out one eye, and this giant is screaming in pain. So great. So that was action, bonus, any movement with the carpet?
Chance, do I need to move?
I mean, it wouldn't hurt.
Do you want to move closer?
A little bit.
Okay, we'll go 5, 10. Let's go 20 feet closer.
All right, you want to move 20 feet closer. So great. All right. It is now the others, and they kind of like doing this. They are doing the wizard things, and you keep hearing the giant scream, "Woozoo, woozoo," as they keep getting hit by the fireballs that just keep bombarding them. So
they're getting fireballs up the woozoo.
All right, that's a clever one. Let's go 1, 2. Let's do the damage. 33 and 30 fireball damage. So that's going to be 63 if they fail it. Total. Let's see if they are able to make anything. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right, first one fails both, takes 63 fire damage, and this one is just burned to death, dies, collapses from fire. Third one was nat 20, and then a fail, so that is, on that one, 34 halved is 17 plus 30, 47 damage. Looking smoking as he's just been burned over and over again. I think Full Metal Alchemist Mustang is just burning to death, Lust. And this one gets burned to death and just burns and dies and collapses. The one in front of Alice and Sandy. As it takes 2 fireballs just back to back. All right. Chance, you're up.
Okay. I'm actually gonna move 6. 11, 15 feet that way.
Move the carpet there. Okay.
And you guys are doing great.
All right. You doing any action, or are you just chilling on the carpet?
I'm just here.
Okay. Bargrim is gonna go. Just start charging, knowing it's gonna be battle's getting a little spicy, but probably not too much. So he's just gonna action dash and get over there. Danny, you are stunned until the end of your turn. That ends. And Erlon, you are up. You still have a giant.
All right. Yep. And we are no longer stunned, so we will finally start hitting it again. We will hit it with Legend Carver for that necrotic damage. How long does that last for, too?
It dropped because of concentration.
Oh, okay. Okay, gotcha. That's fine.
That's fine.
So 19 to hit.
19 hits. Roll damage. 11. Nice. Second attack.
Yep. I'll do...
11 misses.
Yeah. I don't have that for that.
You have your bonus action. You can attack.
Yeah, I was just seeing if I could add to it. That's fine. 20 to hit.
20 hits. Roll damage.
Ugh.
Aches. You hack and you slash, and he is barely standing.
Yeah.
So,
That's
all
fine.
right. End of Erlon's turn. Let's see if... Yeah.
DM, point of order.
Sure.
I am stunned. I can't take actions or reactions. I can't take bonus actions, and I don't need to talk to be able to speak to Alice to give her my bonus action to give her my mastermind.
Oh, okay.
So I can, even stunned, go to just get in Alice's head and give her advantage on her next attack. Or just look over at that one and be like, fucking kill it, piece of shit.
Awesome. All right. Yeah, next attack, you say aim for the eyes or aim for the head. Masiv's gonna go just charge forward. And he's gonna attack with one attack this moment because he has multi-attack. So let's go first attack. That's a nat 20. God damn. Okay. 1 second. Plus 20. Wait. Hold. Yeah. With one strike, he impales the cloud giant in its chest as he does 49 points of damage with one strike and just kills this cloud giant. That was, I believe, 15 feet of movement, and he's gonna keep marching. Just stomping on its corpse. It is now the Cloud Giant's turn. Cloud Giant's gonna try to attack Erlon. And do 1 and 2. That's a nat 1 on one of them, and the other is a 19, doing 26 damage.
Can I repose on that first net one?
Oh, the second attack was a nat 1, but the first one's a 19 with 26 damage. Halved is 13 damage to you. And the second attack is a nat 1. Are you gonna repose?
Correct, yeah.
All right, go ahead. Roll your attack.
Yep. My fucking god.
11 misses. Sorry. Bad night for rolls. Okay. It is now
Erlon,
Alice's
you can
turn.
use my inspiration. I haven't used it yet.
Okay. You want to re-roll that, Erlon?
All right, I appreciate it. Sorry, it's not meant to be. I literally got the same exact fucking roll.
You've rolled 3 2s almost in a row. I'm sorry.
Thanks for the reminder.
Yeah. Hey. Okay. Alice, it is your turn. You got Eldritch Blast. You got advantage on your first attack.
I was gonna ask if I get advantage on Eldritch Blast.
Yep.
Okay.
Because of Zanny's bonus action.
With a 7 or an 8?
17 hits. Roll damage.
Oh, okay. Bang.
14. Okay. Second attack.
Okay.
Hits. And how do you kill the Cloud Giant?
Oh, well, I aim for the head like Zanny told me to, right between the eyes, just like I decimated the hag that one time. This is gonna become my signature move, is executing people.
And, yeah, kill stealing. Yep.
Yes, kill stealing and executions. That's Alice's MO, but she's firing off Eldritch Blast. There's still one more that kind of just goes wide. Erlen, you probably have to duck down a little bit. Nah, you don't, you're short.
Awesome.
But yes.
Yeah. And you kill the last Cloud Giant. All right. The end of the battle. What are you all doing? For like, are any of you planning any heals?
Is anybody hurt significantly?
Is Zanny okay now?
Yeah. Hey, right?
You're not zapped?
Just. I think I'm me again.
Your hair's
It's
a
just
little.
turn, right?
Yeah, it's just one turn.
I'd like to use my turn to fix Zanny's hair.
Yeah, it's my hair. We need to get patched up. Who's hurt?
That's what I asked, and nobody answered.
I'm down 30 points.
Well, everybody's talking.
Yeah. So let's go. Let's very quickly then, just so that way people can do it. I could make sure. Zanny, are you hurt?
Yeah, I'm down about 25.
Okay. Chance, you didn't do any. You didn't get hurt. Lance, how hurt are you?
Down 30 points.
Down 30 points. Okay. Alice, how hurt are you?
I'm almost back to base HP, so not that hurt.
Gotcha. And Erlon, how hurt are you?
Down about 40.
Okay.
Or a little bit more than 40.
So, you guys took a lick in that battle. So, any healing from Chance that you're doing?
Yes, but first I was trying so hard to get to this guy that broke his gun.
Ah, this one? Okay.
Yes. So I could fix his gun for him.
Okay, nice. You do the reverse time for it. Okay. Perfect.
And then I'll throw a few let's see. 16. So 9 to Lance, 8 to Zanny, and 19 to Erlon.
Thank you.
All right. Fargrim will cast Mass Healing Word. 1d4 plus his wisdom. Yeah. And everyone gets 8 hit points as well, on top of that. All right. Hargrim, you hear Hargrim say, "Well, I would do a prayer of healing, but we need to keep going. We're going to be pushing it, because prayer of healing will take 10 minutes.
Yeah, we need to keep the pressure on while we can.
You hear one of the mages, if we have a group stay back here, we might be able to stave off or prevent us from getting flanked, or the advancing team from getting flanked. But we will be splitting our forces.
How
May
you
weaken
kids
the
doing
spear.
on your magic?
We're well. We have plenty of more spells at our disposal. You hear from the Maesif, I'm down about 20% of the Maesif's abilities.
Oh yeah, there's someone in there, isn't there?
Yep, there's a pilot.
Dang, you say you're down 20% or you're down to 20%?
20% down. I still have 80%.
Okay.
I say we take that. I say we leave. I don't know. Do we want to leave one of the spellcasters and 3 more gun guys?
Yeah.
Why don't we leave one of each soldier and the 5 skeletons, and because we have more.
Yeah,
Okay.
you want to give them just a general defense order?
Yeah.
All right. By doing this, I will say you all... Well, let me make a roll for it. Or actually, let's have... 3... Erlon, roll a d20 for me, please.
I was gonna literally tell you, don't make me roll.
Roll a d20.
Yes. Oh yeah.
If it's another 2.
That's 10.
It was an odd or even situation. So
Oh.
with this decision, you will have, by leaving one soldier, one Western, one Eastern, and one of the Archmages with 5 skellies, it will draw fire to prevent one or 2 more giants from flanking you guys as you go forward.
Nice.
So you all are pressing forward. Are you guys doing the same formation with Erlon at the tip? And then Zanny and Alice also? Okay.
Erlon is the head of the spear.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect. Archmage gonna hang back. Bargain's gonna be a little bit more in the middle. The Maesif's gonna also be in the middle. Soldiers kind of like in the back because they have the range for it.
Can I politely request to not be stepped on
By
by
the
the Maesif?
Maesif?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not stepping on you.
He scared me. His cloak hit me in the face. I didn't appreciate it.
I thought when he stepped over you were going to look up to see what he had under his cloak.
I don't want to know what's under his cloak. That loincloth can stay a mystery.
All right. This is the order that I'm going to copy and move on to the next map. Is everyone okay with it?
Yeah.
Sure.
I'm going to go ahead, just bookkeeping, I'm going to go ahead and pop the Torgrim sword ring and get his spell slot back.
Okay, perfect. All right. Next time, on next session, we're going to continue on with you guys going towards the palace and storming through it to try to get to the control room. And we'll see if you guys reach the control room with a Maesif and several other soldiers backing you up for it. We'll say, though, Lance, roll a Arcana check because something did happen again. Okay.
Better.
Oh god.
I will say, I'm going to send you a message privately, and you can decide whether or not you want to reveal it, whispered through everyone's connection for it. Let me send it. And the DC was 30, by the way.
Nice. That's like one of the first times I've rolled over a 10 all night.
There you go. Did you see the message?
Would I know? I, as the player, have a guess on what that is. Would Lance know what that is?
Lance has no idea what's going on, but other than he's sensing this. So if you want him to come to a certain conclusion,
That's my thought, and I think that would be Lance's thought as well.
This is the last thing I'm going to send you.
Okay.
Cliffhanger be real.
There you go.
No kidding, right? This cliffhanger brought to you by Coca-Cola.
But any last thing you want to mention, Lance, before we close out?
Yeah, Lance.
Yeah, Lance is gonna whisper in the group, and he's mostly talking to Zanny, but everybody.
And this is, you guys do have the telepathic.
Right, that's what I'm saying. He's whispering in his head, or he's saying in his head, but he's mostly trying to talk to Zanny. But everybody else can hear him. He's like, every time that thing shoots off its lightning blast, it feels not just the evocation magic. There's necromancy in that.
As in, they actually might have stole it and put it in there.
Yeah, not sure how. Like, I thought maybe it was like burning soul coins of some sort, but that wouldn't make sense because it's able to keep using it. So unless they had just a massive stockpile of storm giant souls, which I doubt they do, because there's not that many storm giants in existence to begin with, that wouldn't make sense.
Massive influx of them.
Yeah, but there still wouldn't be enough. He's already used it twice. Like, we saw how many of those things were. They're all filled that way. But if they're possessed by a ghost of a storm giant, they're not burning the actual soul, but they're forcing the soul to use the necromancy, or they're using the soul to cast the spell as like a conduit without burning through it. That's possible.
Modified planar body.
Yeah. That's some dark magic, whatever is in that thing.
Yes, it is.
I want to take one apart.
Maybe we should have left it behind.
Maybe we should let it die.
That's a plan B.
Okay. Unsure about what else there's to do with that Macif, or if your hunch is correct, you're not sure, but we shall see what happens next as the giant wars continue. Thank you all for a wonderful session, and I'll see all of y'all next week. Take care.
All y'alls.
All y'alls.
All y'alls. Good night.